Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for AEW Fyter Fest and it is week one of Fyter Fest. There is a lot to look forward to. We've got plenty of title matches going down tonight and a few really interesting matches as well as some build towards next week's show. This is going to be a big show. It's week one of Fyter Fest. Week two, obviously, next Wednesday. Week two, we know that we've got Eddie Kingston taking on Chris Jericho. I've also seen that the Jericho Appreciation Society are going to be locked inside a shark cage. So there's going to be a lot of promotion for that tonight, a lot of build for that. We're actually going to hear from Chris Jericho. So we're going to hear from Jericho. He's going to be obviously talking about that match next week, but we've got plenty to look forward to for this week as well. So we've got Jon Moxley, the AEW interim champion. Jon Moxley is going to be taking on Takeshita. That is a title challenge match. So if Takeshita wins, he will get a shot at the belt, even though he's facing the champ now, and if he beats him, he really should be champion anyway, but this is something that modern wrestling enjoys doing. I don't know why. But we've got that match happening tonight. We do have an actual title match with Wardlow defending the TNT Championship against Orange Cassidy. We've got the tag team titles on the line. The Young Bucks taking on Swerve and Keith Lee and Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. So we've got three teams competing for the tag titles. We've also got Claudio taking on Jake Hager, which is obviously really interesting because they used to be in a tag team together in WWE, the Real Americans. We did see them face-to-face a few times during Blood and Guts. And now they're going one-on-one. So Claudio taking on Hager. We've got a Chris Jericho promo, as we said. Anna Jay is going to be taking on Serena Deeb. So looking forward to that one as well. Serena Deeb, I'm a real big fan of Serena Deeb. I'm not really bothered by Anna Jay. I don't think she's that good. But I'm quite interested to see this match because I think if anyone can get a great match out of someone, it will be Serena Deeb. And who knows, Anna Jay, I mean, she's improving. She's not someone that I think really can carry a division or even be a big player in a division, but they put her in Dark Order. She's still quite green. She's had a little bit of exposure there. Now, there's been some other women that have come in. We've seen the likes of Ruby Soho come in, Toni Storm come in, Mercedes Martinez come in. That women's division's quite strong now, so it definitely takes pressure off your Penelope Fords, your Anna Jays, your Ty Contis, your Nyla Roses. Like, these women were having to do a lot of heavy lifting, and I think struggling, buckling a little bit under the weight of that before. Whereas now, there's plenty of women around, top quality women that can carry that load as well. So I'm interested to see what can we get out of Anna Jay. Certainly, if anyone can get some out of her, it's going to be Serena Deeb. So we'll see that match tonight. And maybe the highlight of the week, Christian Cage. Christian Cage with a promo. We're going to be seeing a Christian Cage promo. I mean, he always goes quite far in his promos. And I do agree with something Brian Last said on the recent Cornette podcast. He said he really likes Christian Cage, but his concern is that if he's going to keep coming out every week and saying something shocking, it's going to start to lose its effect. He's just going to become that guy. He's going to be that guy that just comes out and makes those kinds of statements, rather than them being like once in a while and actually impactful. If he does it week after week after week, then it might start losing its impact, because obviously you'll become familiar with that style. So he's in a difficult place right now. He needs to be engaging. He needs to be, cutting a really good promo, but I definitely don't think that we need any more. Your whole family should be dead. it's a shame that you didn't die as well. That kind of, really shocking dialogue, which has definitely worked, and it's definitely made people go, huh? And take notice. But I don't think you can do that week after week after week after week after week. So, it's going to be interesting. So we'll see what he can do, and we'll see if it is going to be another week of, him potentially saying something bang out of order. But I'm down for it. It is one of my favourite parts of the week. Edward, hello. Shout out to you. Said, let's go. Edward's excited for first night of Fyter Fest. Says, hope you are well. How is the family? They're doing good. Hope you're well, Edwards. David, shout out to you. Hope you are well. It's great to see so many people jumping in and joining us nice and early for AEW. We have now started to do post shows as well, but we don't have one for AEW yet. It's taken quite a long time to set up the Raw and the SmackDown ones, so our next post show will be straight after SmackDown. That does mean, bit of bad news, no more Rampage streams, which is a real shame. But I don't want to have to, I think it's going to be quite late to, wait after Rampage. So I think what we're going to do is we'll do SmackDown and then do the SmackDown post-show kind of stream. I think Rampage, for me, is a fine show, a solid show, but equally it is a missable show. It is something where it doesn't feel essential. Obviously, it's pre-recorded, so people tend to know what the results are before we even get to the show, and analytics for our stream on a Friday tends to show that there's a big drop-off once SmackDown has ended. So, yeah, a little bit of bad news there, but hopefully people understand why. I really want to try and get these post-shows up and running, and eventually I think I will try and get one done for AEW. But for right now, everything we're going to be talking about will be in this one stream. And as we said, going forward, we'll try and do a post-show for after AEW. But if you are someone that wants to... Well, the great thing about those post-shows is if you are someone that wants to kind of keep in with WWE, but you don't want to watch the show, and there's plenty of people in that boat, then you can just jump into one of those post-show reviews. They'll be about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes long, and they'll have all of the results, the reaction. You'll be able to see people's reaction in the live chat as well, which I really like doing it live, because when you watch it back, you've got the opportunity to have a look and see what other people are saying about those segments as well. So I really do like those post shows. Eric, shout out to you. Hope you're well. Days MLW are making figures with boss fights. Now that Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor, what will happen to the figures from Figures Toy Company? To be honest, I think that those will likely wind down. I would imagine that Jazzwares will probably want to get involved. I would imagine. I feel like Ring of Honor feels to me like it's their NXT, or is going to be positioned as their NXT. I think that, I could be wrong on that. Obviously, they've got some great wrestlers that are their champions. Maybe they'll try and have it as an alternative brand. But in many ways, I can see talent going there that's going to be built up and then moved over to Dynamite. Maybe they'll keep the top end quite strong, like a Mercedes Martinez, a Samoa Joe. Maybe they'll keep those that caliber of champion. But I can see the bulk of it being like developmental. So I would imagine Jazzwares is going to want in on that. And I would imagine the AEW fan base is going to want in on that as well, with having like figures that match their other figures. As a figure collector, it would be pretty awful if WWE main roster figures were made by Mattel and then the NXT ones were made by Hasbro. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want your collection to look the same and look uniformed and be the same scale and have the same look and aesthetics. So I feel like I don't know what the deals are with Figure Toy Company. But, to be honest, I doubt they're the strongest, most concrete deals. I wouldn't be surprised if it was written on the back of a fag packet type deal. So yeah, I would imagine that Jazzwares would be interested in that, because there's a ton of crossover, isn't there? I mean, Jazzwares are going to want to be the only ones that make Samoa Joe and the only ones that make Mercedes Martinez, but at the moment they're being used over in Ring of Honor, so it's all a bit murky. And so yeah, my feelings on that will probably be that ultimately, whenever this Figures toy contract expires, if it hasn't already, I don't know, then I would imagine Jazzwares would be very, very interested. In fact, I'd imagine Jazzwares, as I said, are pretty peeved, because if I've signed a deal with AEW and then a load of wrestlers go over to Ring of Honor and now a rival company can make those figures, there's a conversation being had there. There's definitely a conversation being had. I don't want to be competing against another company that's making Samoa Joes and Mercedes Martinez's and who knows who else is on that, that they could come out with. I don't know, Jay Lethals and all this kind of stuff. Like, I didn't sign like a very expensive deal so that I then got someone that's making figures from pretty much the same company. So it's a really interesting point, Eric. It's a good one. I would imagine Jazzwares will be all over it. Wrestle with Andy, loving the days after dark. It feels like a rainy night episode of Frasier. Oh, you know that's going to hit me right in where it's, don't you? Right in the feels. Wrestle with Andy, shout out to you. Hope you are well, buddy. You'll be pleased to know I get recommended tons of your videos all the time. And like on the sides and everything. So yeah, I can't escape Wrestle with Andy videos, which is no bad thing. If you've not checked out Wrestle with Andy's videos, absolutely fantastic biographies and recaps of the glory days of wrestling. Brian said, are you still doing soccer football? Well, soccer football isn't happening at the moment, unfortunately. The season is on hold. We are 100% doing the World Cup, but to be honest, I said at the end of the season, my focus for this part now is completely away from that channel. So right now, I honestly can't give you an answer. Right now, I genuinely don't know. What I want to do, and I'm sure you can see, is bring up the quality of the watch-alongs, introduce the new post-show recaps, which I think are great for people that want to watch live, but great for those that can't and then can watch the next day. I had great feedback. I really appreciate the feedback from the one we did on Monday. So we did one Monday night, and it wasn't perfect. Like, there was a couple of bits in there that I definitely, as soon as I ended the stream, I was like, a list, and I've been spending the past 48 hours working through that list. So on Friday you'll see a new intro, which I've spent quite a long time doing. There's a new intro for that post show. I found a way of getting comments on screen, not like this, but like ones where they pop up. Like there's one comment at the bottom of the screen and then it goes like away again, so it kind of raises up people's comments. The new way that we score shows I thought worked really, really well. I really liked it, so we're going to look to do that, and I've actually found a way of presenting it on screen a lot more professionally. So I've been tweaking with that. So yeah, there's lots going on with the channel, and my focus is just fully there. And once the streams are like completely done and updated, and once the post shows are up and running, then I want to try and find a way of getting more videos onto the channel. I keep talking about it. We have got these reviews that are working now, and then really want to start getting some more on. Obviously, we got San Diego Comic-Con coming up, so that's going to be pretty big news. Lots of new figures from Mattel and Jazzwares, maybe Figure Toys Company, I'm not sure, being shown off there. So, we're only about a week away from that. And we did see the new WWE exclusive, which was Hulk Hogan and Zeus in that wonderful retro packaging. Absolutely fantastic. Looked like a VHS tape. If you've not seen the video on the channel, check it out. Really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. I hope we see a banana do come true. professional. We need to bring back the Wheel of Fun. Do you know what? I tried to bring that back on the Money in the Bank stream, and I don't think it was something that, to be honest, it takes a little bit of time to set it up, and I don't think it was something that Tommy wanted to kind of like have the hassle of having to go down and sort, and I can totally understand that. So we still did figure giveaways on the Money in the Bank stream. And I even did record for him, and I don't know if he ever played it, but I did record me singing the Wheel of Fun song for you guys. So he has got a video clip of me singing the Wheel of Fun song, which I sent over to. I recorded it the other week. I sent it over to him, but as I said, I don't think he went down that road. But we will look again for SummerSlam, which is set up. So if you want to join the SummerSlam watch-along, it is the same night as UFC 277. UFC 277 will be on this channel. SummerSlam is on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. So again, we have got another 2 streams on the go at the same time. And it worked really well last time. It did split the community, which there's no escaping that, you know what I mean? All I can do is try and give people the streams they want, and I know people want UFC. We've got a big UFC community, and I know people want pro wrestling. We've got obviously a massive pro wrestling community, so we're trying to cater for all. Dana said, do you think we will have AEW World Championship after Fyter Fest? Do you think we'll have a new AEW World Champion after Fyter Fest? No. I don't think that, well, I certainly don't think they're going to put the belt on Takeshita, who is challenging Moxley tonight, not for the title, but for the opportunity to have a title match. So even if Takeshita wins, and then next week is the title match, I don't see Takeshita becoming I don't think anyone sees Takeshita becoming the new AEW World Champion. This is no disrespect to Takeshita, but I just don't see that happening. So, no, I think once we get past these next couple of weeks, we'll still have the same interim champion. I think we'll have the same TNT champion. I don't know what's going to happen with the tag belts, to be honest. I mean, will the Bucks keep them, or could they end up putting them on Hobbs and Starks? Because I actually think Hobbs and Starks are in a really good place. I find them quite entertaining, and I'd be really interested in putting the belts on them and seeing, like, giving them more screen time. So, I don't know, I'm kind of interested in that one. It'll be a bit disappointing if all the champions retain tonight, but there's probably a good chance of that happening. Eric says, do you remember I'm a Banana video on E-Bombs? I'm old. E-Bombs? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't remember the I'm a Banana video. Yeah, Eric, you've just confirmed yourself as a boomer, mate. I'm sorry about that. But in front of all of these people on this AEW stream, you have confirmed yourself to be a boomer. So, Eric, shout out to you, bud. Wrestling with Andy said, Dave's Wheel of Fun video is now wrestling's greatest piece of lost media. It's true. For a long time, it was that match between McGee and Bret Hart. That was one. Last Battle of Atlanta. That was another one as well. But now it is me singing the Wheel of Fun song from 2022. And I do look forward to doing one of those Lost Treasure shows with like Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and the Top Dollar from Hit Row. Do you remember they did that show on, was it A&E? Where they went around trying to find lost bits of merchandise. I very much look forward to appearing on that in the future. Brenton, shout out to you, says, hope all is well. I think his name is Takeshita. No, it's not that. It's Takeshita is how they pronounce it. But clearly when you first see it, you do read it that way. Master Chief said, if you were born before cars had airbags, are you a boomer? Yes. Yes, I would say almost certainly. If you was born when cars had CD players, you're a boomer, right? If you were born when they were tape players, I mean, literally, you've probably got a few years left, and that's it. And if you was born when they had record players in them, well, to my knowledge, they never did. Did you see the Keith Lee news? No. What is the Keith Lee news? Let me know. What is the Keith Lee news? I will have a little look for it. Keith Lee on Google. Tony Khan gives some clarification on Keith Lee's mysterious tweets. On Tuesday evening, AEW star Keith Lee caused a bit of a stir on social media when he posted a tweet referring to some less than stellar news he recently received. The tweets caused some to wonder if this could mean that Lee would be unable to appear on tonight's AEW Dynamite, where he and partner Swerve are set to face Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, and the Young Bucks in a three-way match. Limitless fans, however, have no need to fear. At least according to AEW owner and CEO Tony Khan, though he didn't go into too much detail, Khan did address Lee's tweet in a quick appearance on Busted Open Radio. Keith is here, says Khan. He is wrestling tonight. He had a family situation that I don't want to get into because it's not my place. But Keith is here and he's going to wrestle as I understand it. I can't really comment on what's happening, but we're going to support him through what is happening. Lee quote tweeted an AEW video which promoted the three-way match, seemingly confirming that he would be on Dynamite tonight. Business was all Lee said. So, is that the news? To be honest, I didn't see any cryptic tweet from Keith Lee, but I did see AEW tweet out the lineup for today's show, and he was on there, so. Eric said, I'm so a boomer. SCS son calls me his inspiration. You're my inspiration as well, Eric. You're my inspiration as well. Is Days aware of audio in the background? No. Is there audio in the background? What audio would that be? I've got nothing showing on my... nothing showing. I have nothing playing, nothing showing. You'll have to let me know if there is audio. His brother died. Oh, really? Is that what it is? That's awful. I don't think there's that reached Google yet, has it? 3 hours ago. Cage side seats. Last night. What's going on? Is that... Well, all I can tell you is that doesn't appear to have reached the news sites. Tony Khan isn't talking about it. And there's no news regarding Lee's status that he'll be on. Gets less than stellar update ahead of... No, nothing on the like Google News in regards to his brother passing away, so I'm not sure about that. It's just a super chat thing. Oh, okay. I was going to say nothing is showing as playing or anything, so that'd be pretty wild. If you're hearing noises, that'd be pretty wild. I know you're happy about having a system in place where Tommy covers the pay-per-view. But you must be gutted to miss it. What if a big surprise happens like Roman losing the title? I'm not gutted about it, to be honest. I'm pleased that there's a fix that's in place and that people can go over and watch. I mean, if Roman loses the title, I'll find out about it. I mean, I'll hear about it. Like, I don't feel that... I mean, I've watched so much wrestling and I've seen... so many moments like that I mean, if I miss out on one, and I'm surely I will. I mean, obviously I didn't see like Liv cashing in, but it really wasn't a problem. It really wasn't a problem. I'll hear about it. I'll be able to watch it afterwards. And if Roman loses his title, it's not a problem. I'll hear about it. I'll be able to watch it after. I think what would bother me more is that we won't be able to do like our post-show review as soon as that show ends. I need to have a look at the timings, but I would love to be able to do a post-show. Because obviously I'll have the show on. I'll be, in many ways, I'll still be able to kind of keep an eye on what's happening. I was able to see what was happening. I didn't see the exact moment Liv cashed in for Money in the Bank. I just saw her and Ronda hugging. So even though I have it on, obviously my attention is like firmly with UFC. So even having it on means that I won't catch all those moments. But I'll still be picking up on things. So yeah, I'm just as I said, what's more important to me is that we've got a system in place, which means that we're not just catering to UFC fans and we're not catering to the wrestling fans, or vice versa, we were catering to the wrestling fans and not the UFC fans. I like the fact we've got a system in place that caters to everyone now. Hasib said, what's your thoughts on United signing Martinez? It's not gone through yet, but apparently it's pretty close to being a done deal. I don't know a great deal about him, apart from he's like 5'9". He's meant to be really good on the ball. Clearly Ten Hag rates him. I suppose I've got a few questions about him being 5'9". I mean, that's pretty small for a centre-back. I mean, if people are whipping in crosses and all of this, you've got to think they're going to put pressure on him, but it clearly works at Ajax, and I think he's played multiple times for Argentina as well. So, listen, my feeling is if Ten Hag wants him, go and get him. There's no point having a manager that you don't back. So I'm down for it. But I don't know a great deal about him, and what I do know does make me a little bit concerned. I'm a bit old school in wanting, big, tall, strong giants as your centre-backs. So, 5'9" is small, man. That is small. But it must work. It must work. And actually, I think aerial duel-wise, he's not too bad. He's actually not too bad. So even though he gives up a good few inches on other players, I think he's still able to win a fair few aerial duels. Days, what club do you prefer, Salford or Wrexham? I don't have a preference, mate. Brenton said, speaking of figures, is there a figure company whose figures you don't like as far as facial features, model, scale, etc.? Well, to be honest, I'm not crazy about Figure Toy Company. Their figures tend to be quite expensive. And they had some which, Tommy Toy, not even my I've never had any, but I've seen them and I've never been overly impressed. And Tommy Toy Travels, who I do my weekly podcast with, he reviewed quite a few from, I don't know if it was the first season and the first series, but he was laying into them, man. He wasn't impressed either, so they tend to, their quality, I'm sure, has improved, but to be honest, I haven't really paid them much attention since their kind of first wave of figures were coming out, and they certainly weren't really doing it for me. I would say, actually, majority of companies don't impress me. There's a lot of figures that are out there that just the articulation, like the articulation looks a bit off. Mattel make mistakes. Jazzwares make loads of mistakes. Jazzwares have got some really great figures in that AEW line. I think the AEW line's quite strong, but you can definitely look at a few of them and go, yeah, drop the ball on that. And as I said, same with Mattel as well. But I think if you talk about overall, then I'd think Figure Toy Company might be up there. Outside of wrestling, I don't tend to really pay anything any attention, so I can't really tell you about like Marvel figures and all that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in that. I just really dial in on the wrestling stuff. And actually, to be honest, I'm more exclusively Mattel because I have managed to kind of keep the AEW figures away because obviously they're recent. They've only been around for a few years, and I think I got to the stage where I really had a decision to make. I know that if I get one will be two will be three will be four. So, before starting down that road, I kind of really had to check myself before I wrecked myself, and I made sure that I didn't go down that journey, didn't go down that path. And so I've actually managed to keep AEW figures away But I've seen plenty that have grabbed my attention. And I'll tell you now, I don't know that I will be able to resist FTR figures if they come with those jackets. You know, the black jackets with like the rainbow kind of thing across the stripe and the little FTR logo and everything, and maybe the belts. If they release those figures, and I'm sure they will, I might break then. I might break. And then it's just going to look really weird having like, so I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be really hard to not get those figures though. I think those would be amongst the wrestlers I probably most want in figure form would be FTR, but with those jackets. And Jazzwares do amazing soft goods. So you know the jacket's going to look just like the real ones. Daniel said, did you see the clip of Chris Jericho on True Geordie's podcast discussing going face-to-face with Brock backstage for smashing Orton with elbows, cutting him wide open after a match? No. I haven't. I have seen that video recommended to me, but not really too bothered about watching True Geordie for wrestling stuff. I think like the True Geordie's fine. Ain't got no issue with him whatsoever, but I don't know. If I was going to get that information, I'd rather be getting it from like a Chris Van Vliet or, do you know what I mean? Like someone that's kind of in the business that's what they do. So no, I haven't really gone in for those True Geordie ones. He's not really someone that I pay much attention to, but I am aware of. And as I said, I have no issue with him. It's not like I think he does a bad job. It's just not someone that is on my radar. Is there an ideal length for a wrestling show? 1 hour, 2 hour? Territory TVs were about 90 minutes. TNA's 1 hour show, but I think 2 hours is just right. I would probably go with 90 minutes, to be honest. I feel like 2 hours can be a little bit too long. I do feel that with a 2 hour show, you always can cut stuff. And actually, I feel like maybe even an hour. I suppose it depends how big your roster is. I mean, I remember, obviously, not that long ago, NXT being an hour, and it's one of my favourite shows ever. NXT, when it was on the WWE Network, and it was only an hour long, there wasn't enough time to show you all the big stars every week, and that was great. I don't want all the big stars every week. I want them to say, tune in next week. Next week, you've got Sasha Banks. Yeah, you didn't get her this week, but you can have her next week. And it gives you Sasha's on next week. Not Sasha's on every week. And Roman's on every week, or whoever, right? I mean, like, Kevin Owens tends to be on every week, and Cody was on every week, and, like, when it came to Raw. So, like, Raw, you get Bobby every week, Theory every week, you get Miz every week, you get everyone every week. But with NXT, they never used to do that. NXT, you used to get, like, a handful of people, and they would push their stories forward, and then the next week they would focus on different people and different stories. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And actually, that's how Raw used to be as well. If you go back to the early Raws, then, you weren't getting everyone every week. They would be off doing house shows. So they would bring in certain people, tell certain stories on TV, but you wasn't getting Hogan every week, Brett every week, Ric Flair every week, Razor Ramon every week. Like, they would literally circle through them. And I do think that's something that's missing, because I think it's an easy way of getting a bit of excitement. Like, next week, we're going to Judgment Day next week. We didn't get him this week, but Judgment Day, that means that we're going to get something happening with the Judgment Day story. So, you can start then talking and thinking about, I wonder what that segment's going to be. And I wonder how it's going to go. And, like, whereas now, because they're on every week, there's no guarantee that story's going to move forward or anything. There's no guarantee that it's going to progress. It's not really, kind of doesn't feel that big when they come out. So I would say 90 minutes for, like, a bigger roster, but I'm quite happy with an hour, to be honest. I'm quite happy with an hour. I am of the belief you don't need to see everyone every single week. The reviews you're doing, can you do one after UFC? maybe. It's not on my agenda at the moment, but there is definitely potential for it, yes. But I'll write it down. I'll put it down because it's a good idea, Hasib. I like it. But yeah, it's not something that's on my radar. I'll tell you the other thing I'm thinking as well is that I would like to do post shows for like the WWE shows, and obviously they're kind of colliding at the moment with UFC, and they could do going forward. So that's going to be tricky as well. So there's lots of little things like that need to get worked out. But that's a good shout. I like that. I'm totally open as well to ideas. I had some really great feedback the other day. People saying, comment of the day and all that kind of stuff, which that was from William, which I thought was a great shout as well. So just constantly trying to find ways of making things better and improving either the streams or the reviews or getting figure videos onto the channel. And that's the direction we're heading in. By the time UFC is over, it's almost time to go to church in the UK. There's just no time, says Fortnite. Who's your favourite wrestler? Mine, right now, maybe, my top three, Roman, Asuka, Gunther. Those would be my top three. In regards to AEW, obviously Bryan Danielson, but he's out injured at the moment. Serena Deeb would be right up there. I do enjoy her, but she's not on the best of kind of runs at the moment. So she was doing some great stuff, and then they had her going up against like jobbers, and she was killing them. Then they put her in there with Thunder Rosa. Predictably, she didn't win. And now, I don't know what we're doing with her, really. She feels to me like she's the best women's wrestler they've got. But sometimes the best wrestler doesn't connect the most with the audience. So I think that Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, those kind of people have connected more so than a Serena Deeb. And so I can understand why they've not given her the belt, but it's a bit of a shame because I really enjoy watching her wrestle and watching her like compete. So I do like her. So they would be my top two probably in AEW, and then of course FTR. FTR do great work. Really do have enjoyed watching them, and really since that match against the Briscoes, kind of feels like things have gone to a different level for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing where are they? I don't know where they are. They're not on the show tonight, but I'm looking forward to seeing what we do with them going forwards. Britt is the best, says Austin. She's facing Mercedes Martinez for the Ring of Honor Championship at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Yeah, I mean, that's nothing though, is it? I mean, in my mind, the Ring of Honor thing is just NXT. So, and again, that might be unfair. But in my mind, that's pretty much Serena Deeb fighting for the NXT women's title. So I think you're either, you're either the AEW Women's Champion or maybe the TBS Champion would be a good thing to get as well. Obviously, that's Thunder Rosa and it's Jade. Doesn't look like they're going to pull the trigger on Serena Deeb getting either of those anytime soon. So, I don't know. I worry a little bit for, she's going to get used. She'll probably slip into like a Natalia role where she's putting others over, but we'll see. Did you see Discovery asked AEW for the Shark Cage stipulation? It ties in with Shark Week and an old school gimmick for people in a cage above the ring. To be honest, I didn't know Discovery had asked for it. I just thought it was the old school callback, very similar to the last Battle of Atlanta, when, was it Paul Ellering that was in the shark cage? We've seen it in WWE as well. I remember Enzo in a shark cage. I think we had that when it was Big Cass versus Big Show. And Enzo, I think, was in a shark cage. So I just thought it was a little nod to wrestling past. But makes sense. It's really weird, isn't it, that Discovery Channel Shark Week thing, that it's such a big deal. I still can't get my head around why. Like, I understand sharks are cool, but people seem to go really crazy about Shark Week. Like, I don't know. Sharks are cool, but lions are cool as well. I don't know. Like, why isn't there a lion week? Cereal's cool. Why is there not a cereal week? I don't know. But you know that AEW would love to do a cereal match. I'm sure Orange Cassidy would be down for that. Name your all-time favorite rivalry in WWE history. All-time favorite rivalry in WWE history. Well, the first one that comes to mind is Bret and Shawn. That's the first one that comes to mind for me, because I grew up with those two kind of battling to get to be the guy. I remember Bret and Shawn from Survivor Series 92, which is a match that doesn't really get spoken about that much. We've spoken about their ladder match. They had the first ladder match in WWE. Obviously, the Iron Man match as well. Obviously, the screw job as well. So, for me, there's that kind of key period in my enjoyment of wrestling when I was young and there was no internet, and it was, I think the connection I had with wrestling was different, because back then it was you and a TV and then maybe go and speak to some friends after. Now it's all of you lot, and it's the social media, and I mean, just now it doesn't really feel so much like it's just me and the TV. Do you know what I mean? Like, if something happens, I can look into the chat and get your thoughts, your reaction, like that, and that is very different to where I was and how I was watching wrestling when I was a kid, because you would watch it and then, you know, you'd meet up with your friends, and sometimes you might talk about it, sometimes you might not. But if you did talk about it, you tended to be like, oh, did you see that? Oh, it's really cool. You wouldn't, to be honest, you wouldn't really go into like a deep dive. It was just like, oh, did you watch Raw? Oh, did you see that bit? That was really cool when he came off the ladder. Yeah, that was sick. Like, you know, you might say something along those. Like, you weren't going, oh, I thought they overbooked it or anything like this when you're a kid. It's completely different now how I watch wrestling. So that kind of real personal time in my life, I would say Bret and Shawn. Because I think going back, you've got like a few Hogan ones which are interesting. Obviously, Stone Cold and The Rock would come after, and I thought that was cool. But to be honest, I think that I was maybe a little bit old by the time the Attitude Era came. I think by the time the Attitude Era came along and wrestling was really, really cool, because I'd been watching it anyway for so long. For me, there was a lot of the Attitude Era that I wasn't keen on, and I remember just a lot of the Attitude Era that I just thought it was a bit silly, and but the top of the card was great, and the shows definitely felt unmissable. Like, everyone was talking about it. It was talk of the town. But I don't know. You know, when you've been into something for so long, and like I was getting like people telling me, oh, wrestling, it's uncool, what, you know, it's fake, all that kind of stuff. So I went through all of that, and then all of a sudden wrestling becomes cool and everyone wants to talk about it. But like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I'd already been through like all this stuff where I knew it was great and I knew it was enjoyable. I suppose rather than just enjoying that time and whatever, I was just a bit like, everyone's into it now, and it's like I took so much abuse. So I was kind of like, I was watching it and I was like, oh, it didn't feel the same way that it used to, but it was still good. But I think there's always a but when it comes to the Attitude Era for me. So there's always a but. There's always a, yeah, this was good, but what about that? This was good, but what about that? I've said before, I mean, look at the WrestleManias. The WrestleManias at that time are not very good. I kind of feel like, you know, WrestleMania 15, WrestleMania 16, those 2 years in particular. 14's pretty good with Tyson. 17's amazing, but like those 2 years, 15, 16, like 99 and 2000, not very good. So I kind of feel that, that's an era which I can appreciate, but doesn't really speak to me too much. Ruthless Aggression, you got a lot of Cena stuff, Evolution stuff, Orton, Legend Killing stuff. I don't know. There's not really... You could say Orton and Cena, but I'm not really too fussed by that. To be honest, you could say Undertaker Kane. That's probably going to be a lot of people's. But for me personally, I'd stick with Brett and Shawn. What matches are you most excited for? For me, it's Hager and Claudio, and the tag title match, says Derek. I am, do you know what? I'm looking forward to the tag title match. I want to know, I don't think we get a title change for the Moxley one. In fact, we can't, because obviously if he wins, he gets a title match. But I don't think he loses. I think Moxley wins. I think Wardlow, Orange Cassidy, I can see that being a case that Wardlow retains. I think it'll be a good little contest, but I think Wardlow retains. Claudio and Hager, I'm sure, are going to work a great match, but I must admit, that one, I can't wait to see it. But in my head, it is just Jack Swagger against Cesaro. And it's like, of all the kind of dream matches that you think, oh my God, Cesaro's coming to AEW, this isn't like one that's really on my list. I want to see him going up against Kenny Omega. I want to see him going up against CM Punk. I want to see him going up against Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara. I want to see him going up against some of those AEW originals. I want to see him, kind of up against Hangman as well. I'm down for seeing it and seeing, is he going to be able to just cut loose and do things that he couldn't do in WWE? I'd imagine so. I'd imagine the match quality is going to be amazing. But I don't think anything's kind of grabbing me quite like that tag match. Young Bucks against Swerve, Keith Lee, Hobbs and Starks, and I'm looking at Hobbs and Starks, man. I'm looking at Hobbs and Starks. I really do want them to achieve something. I'd love for them to go forward and pick up a win here and become the new champs. Right, let me. I just noticed that our like thing isn't working, which is really annoying. Really annoying. Let's see if I can fix that, because we've only got 13 minutes to go. 13 minutes. There we go. Do you know what? I'm starting to realise I don't think that I can actually fix this thing or change this thing until the stream's live. I think that's maybe part of the problem. I tried to do it beforehand and it never quite works. But if you are watching and you haven't dropped a like, leave a like, because we are on 158. 158. We're on the road to 160. I haven't really got an expectation for likes, but we do have the counter up there now, just so that we can keep an eye on how things are going. So drop a like if you haven't already. We are just over 11 minutes away now from AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Week 1. If you are just joining us, Jon Moxley is going to be taking on Takeshita. If Takeshita wins, he gets an AEW interim championship match in the future. I don't know if it would be next week, but it's not a title match tonight. Wardlow against Orange Cassidy for the TNT title. That is tonight. Young Bucks defending against Swerve and Keith Lee. Hobbs and Starks. That is for the AEW Tag Team Championships. We've got Claudio versus Jake Hager. We've got that match tonight. We've got a Chris Jericho promo. We've got a Christian Cage promo. And we've got Anna Jay taking on Serena Deeb as well. So I don't know if they've announced anything else. I can just quickly jump over to AEW, because sometimes they do make announcements like in this hour before. So we can definitely just have a little look. Here we go. Tony Khan has put a little message out. Oh, here's the graphic. No. It just says that we'll hear from Christian Cage and that Luchasaurus will be in action. So just that Luchasaurus will be having a match tonight. But that's the only thing that's been added that we haven't mentioned. So Yep, looking pretty good. Brett, Sean, Cena, Edge, Cena, Orton. Those would be my top three. Cena, HBK, Angle rivalries are honourable mentions, says Brenton. Daniel said, I think if Punk isn't back to defend 1-1, easily main event a pay-per-view, how over FTR now? Do FTR Young Bucks? Yeah, that could main event. That could definitely main event. I agree, Daniel. I went into my garden for a smoke. I could hear a guy peeing up against my fence. I went to the fence and yelled and threatened to call the police, and he ran away. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Retribution. But when you've got to go, you've got to go. And honestly, I didn't know it was your fence. So I meant no offence. But shout out to you, Retribution. Jim said, is Jade Cargill injured? She's not wrestled in a while. Can have a little look. That is true, actually. I don't know when she last competed. I don't feel like it was that long, but it might have been a few weeks. Jade Cargill shuts down Stokely Hathaway. Jade Cargill retains her championship. It was 2 weeks ago. Improves to 34-0 on Blood and Guts was when she last competed. So, yeah, I'm guessing they just haven't got anything for her at the moment. Can someone tell me what happens when Punk comes back? Well, it's believed that it'll be Punk against whoever the AEW interim champion will be at that time. So, if it's still going to be Moxley at that time, then it'll be Punk against Moxley. But obviously, if he's lost it to someone else, then it'll be Punk against someone else. And then there'll just be the one champion going forward. So really, Moxley is the AEW champion, but only whilst Punk's away. And then, as we said, when Punk comes back, they'll do a unification match, if you will. At least he peed and didn't take a dump. Well, sure. Just don't look further down the fence, Retribution. That's all I'm going to say. Rashawn said, you are taking the pee. Retribution said, you stole that joke from Fortnite. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you suggest that I would sink to the level where I was getting my jokes from Fortnite? How dare you? How dare you, sir? Austin said, if you're not doing Rampage, then shouldn't the Raw stream be set up an hour earlier than you have it? I don't know. To be honest, I can't remember what time it's set up for. Is it set up for 4:15, is it, or something? That'll be 11:10. Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, I can change that. I'm going to do that right now so that that is a resolved issue. Austin, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Wouldn't it be a massive drama, in all fairness, because obviously when we go live, it'll just go live. But it's better that people know the correct time rather than the wrong time. Boom. Done. Yeah, I did set up all the streams in advance as well. So we've got both of the SmackDown streams set up, UFC set up, both of the Raw streams set up. I didn't want to set up next week's AEW because I thought that'd be a bit confusing. So hence why that's not set up yet. But I'll set that up as and when I can. I'm all over it, guys. I am super organized. Say Sasha comes to AEW for argument's sake. Does she go after the women's belt? Do you put her with Jade? I think Jade should beat Sasha down the road to get a significant win. Yeah, I mean, if Sasha comes in, she goes after the women's title and you put the belt on her and she's your women's champion. And I mean, how quickly you actually do that, I don't know. I wouldn't take too long. I think that I wouldn't have her winning it like within the first couple of months, but I would have her come in, like establish herself, have a few like matches, kind of get her to do a few promos, make her intentions very clear, It depends who your champion is at the time. If your champion's like Thunder Rosa, then maybe you're going to want Sasha kind of helping her, making a few saves and all that kind of stuff. So you might have to wait for a heel to have the belt. But, yeah, I think you move quite quick on getting that belt onto her because she is going to be one of the biggest stars they've got in that company. She's going to bring a whole new audience. And that audience, I don't know, man. I think that audience is going to want to see her, like, you know, with that belt, taking on all comers, being the champion. So I would do that. Maybe Jade is the one that ends the title reign. So maybe you get Sasha to the title, but the heel that takes it off of her, as you said, for a significant win could be Jade. And maybe Jade gets the push that way. But I can't say that I'd be having Sasha go after the women's belt, the TBS title. I would be kind of getting her established and then having to go after the major title. Brent said Sasha will look like a mini-me against Jade and will take it off Rosa. Real Talk said we need an MJF update, just something just so the fans have it in their mind, says Real Talk with the King. It's a good shout. Cliff Beavers said Sasha won't change AEW at all. Legend Killer, shout out to you. Daniel said AEW Dark was good this week. Getting to see Thunder Rosa have a match in Japan and then got to see Pac defend his All-Atlantic belt at Rev Pro in Sheffield against Umino. Oh, did they actually put those things on? That's good. That's interesting. I like that. That's a good idea. Actually bringing in footage from other companies. It's a good idea. Austin, go to corner, talk about what you said. You've messed up. Austin always messes up. There's nothing new there. Erase Your Mind, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Appreciate Erase Your Mind sent a little retweet of a recent video I did, which I appreciated. Any retweets, anything like that's always appreciated, as we're going to look to try and get more videos onto the channel. As we said, we've got these new post-show reviews and everything that are starting up as well. So a lot of activity on the channel. I've spent a lot of time doing other things like the football channel and getting like graphics made for that, getting streams set up for that. Been spending a lot of time like doing a lot of like figure stuff behind the scenes, getting a lot of images ready. I've got like over 1,000 figure images, which I've downloaded and slightly edited and done things with that are ready to go in videos and whatever. So I've been spending a lot of time on stuff like that. Now I can actually spend time on stuff that you can see, which is good. And as I said, the feedback's been fantastic. Couple of minutes to go. Time is ticking away. We're not too far away from the start of Fyter Fest. And we'll see what AEW has got in store for us this week. I do like these themed shows. I think the only thing I would say is it does feel like AEW do a lot, which not necessarily the theme shows, but just do a lot. And so it means things don't really get a chance to breathe. Like, it wasn't that long ago we had Forbidden Door, and during Forbidden Door we had to build Blood and Guts. And then, immediately after Blood and Guts, here we are at Fyter Fest. And so it's really, really hard to give things the spotlight that they need. It's really hard to really shine that light on something and really give it the build. To be honest, I'd forgotten tonight was Fyter Fest until I looked earlier and saw, oh my god, yeah, it's Fyter Fest. And then saw the card and I was like, oh yeah, okay, juicy. And I was really invigorated by it then. So that's something that, I don't know, it's a difficult one because they need to do a lot of stuff to keep everyone's attention and stay in the conversation, but you need to find that balance as well with not just hot-shotting everything, do you know what I mean? You've got to find a way of giving everything its promotion time. And that is something I think they've struggled with a little bit, to be honest. Certainly when you hear an Excalibur reading things out at 1,000,000 miles an hour because he's got so much to say. It kind of, it's hard for things to breathe. Do you remember when Dax was a bit upset that him against Cash was just like blown past. Like, it got all of, like, 3 seconds airtime. And people online were like, are FTR fighting each other? And he was like, yeah. Not that you would know from watching the show, but yeah, we are next week. So he was a bit... So, yeah, just something I think they could tweak. That's nice, Edward. I don't know what that is, but I like it. It's a nice little graphic. Is that something new that they've put up? Edward, shout out to you. It's got his name at the bottom of the boards. Here we go then, guys. We are live for AEW Dynamite. We got the pyro shooting into the sky. We've got Excalibur. Fyter Fest. Okay, so we've got shots of the crowd. There's a guy in a lovely fur coat. That kid's pumped up as well. Here's Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy making his way down. I'm going to actually, I'm going to give it a go with headphones. Go and give it a go. Okay, so we've got Orange Cassidy making his way down to the ring. We know that Orange Cassidy is going to be going after the championship. The TNT championship. Freshly squeezed. Orange Cassidy, there we go. They've put both the full matches on AEW Dark, and they had Taz and Excalibur commentate over both matches. Pac's next defense of the Atlantic Championship is in 2 weeks in Dublin, says Daniel. That's interesting. That's good. I think that's a good way to use Dark, to be honest. Okay, Orange Cassidy has made his way down to the ring. Just looking out at the crowd. Here's Wardlow. Wardlow is got the TNT belt with the black strap. You might remember he won the TNT title from Scorpio Sky, which was kind of, I think, Lakers themed. This one is back to its kind of original. So, TNT Championship. Wardlow making his way down to the ring. I wonder if they'll give him, like, a custom belt. His record, 54 wins, 8 defeats. They've changed the belt, says Lance. It's gone back to what it was before. The black strap. I always like it, you know, when champions wear the belts. Like, you see a lot of people just having it over their shoulders. I like it when champions wear them. Like, that's what they're meant to be, their belts. He comes out with it around his waist. Seems to be, not Velcro as well. Like, seems to be studs. I appreciate that also. So, Orange Cassidy in the ring. He's got his shades on. I would imagine that that's, like, really dangerous. I would imagine wrestling in glasses is just really not advisable. He does take them off. He goes to give them to the ref. Bell has sounded. We are underway with the first match of the evening. We've got Wardlow and Orange Cassidy in the center of the ring, and someone in the crowd with some Danhausen face paint. Just seeing some new shirts that are at Shop AEW. Orange Cassidy showing off the guns. Cassidy says that he wants a test of strength here. Puts his arm in the air. Wardlow goes in, and Orange Cassidy puts his hands in his pockets. Wardlow nods. There's a cheer from the fans as Wardlow goes over, grabs Orange Cassidy's arms, takes his hands out of his pockets. rips his pockets away. The pockets actually come out of his jeans and Wardlow rips them off. Orange Cassidy tucks in what's left of his pockets. Wardlow showing off his physique as these two guys come face to face. Orange Cassidy is putting the straps back up on Wardlow. So Wardlow had put the straps down. Orange Cassidy puts the straps back up and we are underway. The Pocket Killer. What the hell is this, says Lance. Brent said, this is awesome. I thought it would suck. OJ is entertaining. About to be juice. Heather said that's a new one on Wardlow. Hits his takedown. Nice cartwheel by Wardlow as he goes over to the corner. Kip up by Orange Cassidy. We are seeing Best Friends on the outside, and we've just got a little advert for Chris Jericho, who's going to be speaking later tonight. There is, I don't know, I don't understand. There's a chainsaw that's been thrown into the ring. A chainsaw's thrown into the ring, but referee spots it. Surely he's going to throw them away. Out of there, yeah. So they've been removed. Best Friends have been removed. Best Friends have been removed from ringside. That's it's going to mean that it's just Wardlow against Orange Cassidy, one-on-one. Orange Punch tried to connect, but Wardlow catches it. Soft kicks coming in by Orange Cassidy. Gets backed up against the ropes. Orange Cassidy again, just a little kick coming in. Wardlow charges over, goes through the ropes. Orange Cassidy with the suicide dive and he gets caught. Wardlow's got him, looking for a power bomb, but decent reversal there by Orange Cassidy, and he tries to drive Wardlow into the ring post. Just on the outside of the ring at the moment. Wardlow stalking Orange Cassidy. On the outside of the ring. Orange Cassidy backing up. Orange Cassidy trying to get Wardlow to come after him. Wardlow has decided to go under the ring for something, and he grabs Danhausen. Danhausen was under the ring. How did he know that Danhausen was under the ring? I don't know. Danhausen says that he wants to walk away. Orange Cassidy with a orange punch. No count from the ref, says List of Jericho. There's so many weird things under the ring, says Melissa. Esteban, shout out to you. I truly believe that Orange Cassidy is a better wrestler than Wardlow, says Jilly. Miss Clown said, just banging on about that P.O. Box. Yeah, I've not forgot, mate. Not forgot. It's on the to-do list. Bailey's got a chair. Is Bailey going to turn and smile on the face? Eric said, this match is already better than Raw and SmackDown, says Eric. Raw and SmackDown added together. Matt said, I'm loving this match, mixing comedy with wrestling very well. Picture in picture. Okay. It has slowed. I never know when we go to commercial. But right now we've got a belly to belly in the ring by Wardlow as Orange Cassidy rolls out the ring. Orange Cassidy sounds like a rubbish Dawson's Creek type show on Channel 4, says Dortnight. Orange looks like a dollar store Ryan Gosling, says Cliff Beavers. Lance said, this is hard to watch, honestly. AEW needed more comedy. Well, there you go, fans, says Junior N. Orange Cassidy and Best Friends are heels now. I think they're just I think they're just tinkers. They're just little tinkers. That's all it is. They're just trying their luck. Up in the air, Wardlow has got Orange Cassidy. Hurls him into the ring. Edge of the ring by Wardlow. Gets inside after hurling Orange Cassidy in there. I think this match now might be moving into away from like that comedy stuff in the early stages. Here we go. He's looking for a delayed vertical suplex. He's got Orange Cassidy up in the center of the ring. He's just holding him there and he hurls him down. One. Just a one. Just a one. AEW have messed up, Wardlow, says Derek. Wardlow is over, but the booking is abominable and counterproductive for his character development. Evan says, why am I watching AEW? I'm playing Skylanders. I'm trying to do all the levels with Spyro. Good luck. Good luck, Evan. I hope you manage to achieve that. You can actually get the Spyro trilogy for about £12. I don't know what that is in dollars. $15? Don't know. On Steam at the moment. For all you Spyro fans. Orange Cassidy goes over to the corner. Flips to the outside. Wardlow charges after him. And Orange Cassidy smashing Wardlow face first into that top turnbuckle. Orange Cassidy is climbing up. Cassidy with a crossbody gets caught by Wardlow. On the shoulders. Cassidy drops down. Chop blocked by Orange Cassidy. And again looking for a chop block as Wardlow's legs buckle. Cassidy gets Wardlow, drives him into the corner. Drives him over to the other corner as well. He's trying. Couldn't get anything. Instead, he's in a pile driver position, but a big clubbing blow across the back. And again by Wardlow. Wardlow in control, looking for a power bomb. No, into a DDT by Orange Cassidy. Cassidy against the ropes. Round the houses. Another DDT. 2 in a row. One. Just a one count. Just a one count for Orange Cassidy. Crowds are into it. There's not much noise. People are... yeah, it is quite quiet. On their feet, though, some of them in and around the first few rows. Wardlow's got Orange Cassidy. Oh, slams him down. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Orange Cassidy. The F10. They're saying that's the first time that someone's kicked out of Wardlow's F10. Wardlow can't quite believe it that Orange Cassidy has managed to kick out of that. Wardlow looking like he's about to do a tombstone, said Erasure Mind. Here we go. He's got Orange Cassidy. He's going for the power bomb. He's got him up in the air. Orange Cassidy throwing in some shots to the head of Wardlow. Strikes coming in by Orange Cassidy. Wardlow powers Orange Cassidy up. Head scissor takedown. Wardlow goes out the ring. Against the ropes goes Orange Cassidy. Suicide dive. It was a little bit botchy. He got a little bit caught on the ropes. Into the ring post goes Wardlow. And again, twice in a row. He's still on his feet. He gets pushed into the ring. And we are seeing Orange Cassidy climbing up. Orange Cassidy is perched and launches himself off. Looking for a DDT. Couldn't get it. Wardlow. Oh, Stun Dog Millionaire by Orange Cassidy. Orange punch as well. Wardlow in big trouble. Orange Cassidy gets a 2. I just got to be chaos with Spyro, and I'm done after that. Well, it seems like you did very well, Evan. Seems like you did very well. Junior said, this is comedy gold, but Orange is getting too much offense. Orange Cassidy over in the corner. Wardlow is getting back to his feet. Wardlow grabs him. And a big powerbomb. Wardlow wins. Wardlow caught Orange Cassidy. Powerbombs him and gets the victory. Wardlow beats Orange Cassidy. Wardlow standing over Orange Cassidy, shaking his head, more in recognition, like, damn, that was a fight. So, Wardlow seemingly impressed with Orange Cassidy. Wardlow picking up Orange Cassidy as best friends have come back down. Wardlow puts his fist out as Orange Cassidy gently taps it. So, sign of respect between Wardlow and Orange Cassidy. Wardlow picks up the win, carries on his way. And we are just seeing Rev Pro footage, which is cool, from Sheffield, England. It's good, man. This is good for Rev Pro, and as we said, you know, it's great that AEW can show their stars competing around the world. Here we are from Sheffield, England. Not the biggest venue. I don't even know where it is, to be honest. Well, I know where Sheffield is. I've been there many times, but that just looks like a warehouse somewhere. Certainly not a sexy arena like Dynamite's in. Right, we've got Jericho Appreciation Society. So I'm guessing, is this going to be the Jericho promo? Another hypothetical. Would you announce MJF ahead of time for Grand Slam or have him as a surprise return? Odds are Grand Slam will sell out either way. I wouldn't announce him, no. I wouldn't announce him because we said before, I think you need to know if this story has still got legs. I would have him come through the crowd. You would have to try and think if he wants out of his contract, what would he do to get out of his contract? And him being announced for the show just doesn't really tally with that. Unless, like, Tony Khan thinks that everything's great between them, everything's been smoothed over, and then he gets in the ring and cuts another pipe bomb. But you can't go down that road again. You can't go down that road again. We've done that. So I think it's probably better if you make out that Tony Khan just wants him to stay at home, sit at home. He doesn't want to use him at the moment, and maybe MJF takes things into his own hands. So no, I wouldn't have him. Well, you could use him there, but I wouldn't advertise him. Here's Jericho. Crowd are singing Judas. Chris in a suit. We haven't seen that since WWE, says Heather. It's true, he's in a nice burgundy number. I stand here not as Jericho, the wizard, or the sports entertainer. I'm Chris Jericho, the living legend. And Chris Jericho, Eddie Kingston's superior. I didn't make you a liar. You're not a liar. You challenged me to a barbed wire everywhere match. Being friends with Eddie Kingston is a worse curse than anything Danhausen could conjure up. Crowd are booing. So, Jericho just talking about how he's dealt with all of Eddie Kingston's friends. He's shaved Ortiz. They embarrassed Santana at Blood and Guts. And Ruby Soho, who we saw last week get her arm slammed in the door. A mangled hand and a crushed career. That's what she's got. I saw Fozzy a few months ago at Whiskey A Go Go, said Long Beach Hippie. Were they good? I've never heard any bad reviews about them live. So I would imagine they were. Rumour has it Santana and Ortiz could be splitting up, says Heather. Cliff said, please no with this gimmick match. How many barbed wire matches have you won, Eddie? I tasted the sweet sting of Mother Barbed Wire's bite at a young age. It's quite a line, isn't it? I'm just as sadistic and maniacal as you. It's not really much of like a kill shot in this promo. It's perfectly fine though. You won't be facing Chris Jericho. You'll be facing the Painmaker, who is undefeated in AEW. This is it. This is the final fight. Once I beat you, you can crawl back in your little hole. So, you know, Jericho, as he said, he's saying a few things here. I think people will be interested to know Painmaker is going to be the version of Jericho that we're going to get. You will never be at Chris Jericho's level. You would think Jericho has to lose this match. Got to strap that rocket to Eddie Kingston, says Brenton. Yeah, I agree. The crowd are right behind Eddie. They're chanting his name. The only way that I can wash away my sins is with a tidal wave of your blood. I'm here to see Christian Cage. He's much better than Jericho. Fozzy have some great guitarists. Jericho is an all-round entertaining and funny at the show, said Long Beach Hippie. I think that's pretty solid stuff from Jericho. I don't know that it's something people will necessarily be talking too much about, but solid stuff. Main event tonight is going to be the tag match. So the match that I'm probably most excited for, main events of the show tonight. Up next, it's going to be Moxley against Takeshita. that is our next match. Do you put Jericho in the top 10 all-time? Probably not top 10. Probably not top 10 for me personally. But I think he is... I feel like he might make top 20. I mean, if you think about the fact he's longevity and, you know, ECW, WCW, WWE, AEW, New Japan, like, for him to have gone into all of those different promotions and for him to have, you know, just those kind of great moments, the countdown, the Y2J stuff, the list stuff, little bit of bubbly and AEW, Painmaker. I mean, Painmaker never really did it for me, but it was interesting. I mean, he is so good at, you know, reinventing himself. I feel like he's definitely in that conversation. But I think if I was to sit down and, like, really think about my favorite wrestlers and the wrestlers that I hold in that kind of regard, I think I could probably come up with 10 above Jericho, but I might struggle to come up with 20 above him. That's hella impressive, though. Let me know. Is he in your top 10? I think it's a great question from Wrestle with Andy. Is he in your top 10? I think he's just outside mine. The names that come to mind for me would be the likes of Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. I think they come to mind straight away. I think The Rock as well is someone that was so charismatic. So charismatic. I know he doesn't have the longevity, but I think the impact that he has, it's maybe a little bit unfair because, like, if you was actually to take Jericho's career and kind of push it down into, you know, just the length of time The Rock was around for, because The Rock's around not that long, really. I mean, debuts 96 and, you know, really starting to go out the door by the early 2000s. Like, his schedule starts to get reduced by that point. So, you know, it is crazy. But I do think that he had such an impact. So charismatic, so entertaining. If there was a Rock segment or a Jericho segment, I'm watching the Rock segment. I suppose that's what I'm basing it on. But, yeah, those are like some of the names that would just come to mind. What was the next match? Jon Moxley. Here we're back to the action, and we're backstage with Eddie Kingston. Kingston says, "Please bring the most violent person you can bring." There's Ruby Soho just showing her arm. I do like this from Kingston because he's right in the camera. He's so close to the camera, he's spitting on it. So you've got Ruby Soho in the background with her arm in like a cast. You've got Ortiz with his head shaved. And right in the middle, you've got Eddie Kingston just saying, "Give me whoever you've got. Bring the worst version of yourself. I want it all. I want every ounce of blood that you've got." Like, he's just straight down the camera, spitting a little bit onto the lens as well. Really intense, really charismatic. He's so good. He doesn't need long, Eddie Kingston. He only needs... That's great. It's great. It doesn't need to be like, you know, 5-10 minutes. Just give him that little minute. Takeshita making his way down. AEW's got the best promo, guys, says M. Kern. Jericho is definitely top 10. Do you remember when Y2J came in WWF? That's awesome. Jericho is top 10 on the mic. Do we really know that Ruby's hand is broken? No, it won't be broken. I mean, she did leave her arm in the... I mean, it was clear that that was, you know, something they were going for. They've done it before with Dustin. I mean, to my knowledge, like, it wasn't broke anyway. If she has, like, accidentally broke her arm somehow in training or something like this, and now they're writing it into a storyline, then that's clever. But I haven't heard that. Here's Moxley. I was away from the stream. How was OC Wardlow? I hope OC didn't get too much offense in. I think people in the chat, certain people felt that he did. I think it was, as you would imagine, divided opinion. First part was comedy with the best friends grabbing a chainsaw and Danhausen under the ring. And if you like that kind of thing, that's the kind of thing you like. And then the second part was probably him getting a bit too much offense in, but it's one of those. It'll be a match that divides opinion, the first one. But then pretty solid promo. Nothing really too spectacular from Jericho, but solid. And now we've got Moxley and Takeshita. Cliff said Jericho will have a final run in WWE and then get into the Hall of Fame. Jason said, who do you think's the greatest WWE wrestler of all time? Greatest WWE wrestler of all time, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels. I think even Ric Flair, who might be regarded as the greatest wrestler of all time. I mean, you can have conversations about that, of course, but he's kind of the wrestler's wrestler, Ric Flair. And if you look at his career and what he's achieved, multiple-time world champion, and, you know, he was the face of the NWA, he goes to WCW, obviously in WWE as well, wins titles everywhere, defends them everywhere. Who doesn't know Ric Flair? I mean, I feel like overall he's got to be in the running for the best wrestler. But I think WWE wrestler, I'll go Shawn Michaels. And listen, when it was time for Ric Flair to retire, who did Ric Flair want doing it? WrestleMania 24. I'm sorry. I love you. So for me, I'd go with Shawn. We had a good little chat the other day about like Shawn and Brett and the differences between them. And for me, like, Brett's the better wrestler, in-ring wrestler. But there's obviously more to wrestling than just the wrestling. You got the promos, you got the selling, the stories, the characters, you know, all of that, just the presence, the charisma. I feel that Shawn actually edges Brett on quite a few of those metrics. But actual in-ring technical ability, I would say Brett was the better worker. Takeshita has been getting so much positive feedback online and putting on brilliant matches. I'm pretty sure he's in this match because all the compliments so far, says Daniel. Takeshita on his feet with a chop to Moxley. So we are going to hear from Christian Cage, Luchasaurus in action. Moxley took a chop there. He's going to throw in a chop of his own. These two trade in chops back and forth at the moment. Not one of AEW's more vocal crowds this week. But they're still getting involved. You can still hear them wooing as the chops come in. Clothesline by Moxley. Moxley walking around as Takeshita is down. Being someone that never watched WWE until 96, I never brought into the Bret Hart hype, says Master Chief. I mean, there's some incredible matches. If you think about, like, him and Owen in 94 and him against the 1, 2, 3 kids. I mean, I saw actually X-Pac put a tweet out thanking Bret for the greatest match of his career. And he had put images from that match from Raw, which I think might have been 90. I don't know what year that was, 94? It was around that ballpark. Him and 1, 2, 3 kids. Yeah, there was loads. I mean, obviously his matches with Shawn and His matches with Undertaker, he had some absolute classics. Even him against Hakishi was one that people still rave about. But it'd be really interesting to know if he never left in '97, like how things would have worked out. I think he would have been overshadowed. One of the things he was never so good at was like charisma. His promos and everything always felt a bit focused and flat. But again, God, the charisma of The Rock would surely have just overshadowed him. And what was happening with Stone Cold and McMahon, it'd been really hard to have seen like Bret Hart kind of really find his place in that Attitude Era. I don't know, maybe they could have found a way, put him in a team, put him would have had to have put him in a team, I think, in a faction or something. I think him on his own would have struggled. 97, when he was doing the stuff with the Hart Foundation, that was fantastic. Maybe they could have carried that for a while. I think we're going to commercial break as Takeshita is on the outside. Moxley has gone over to the corner and is just looking out at the fans. The fans cheering away. Moxley chants in response as Takeshita is trying to get back up to his feet. Moxley walking around on the outside, coming round to Takeshita, who's still down. Takeshita's bleeding, actually. I don't know where that blood came from. Moxley with a strike. We've got a bit of colour. Moxley has got Takeshita over in the corner by the barricades. And I don't know what he's doing, but he's like biting. And he has got blood on his hands, on his mouth. Moxley going back over to Takeshita. William Regal says, I'm glad that I know him well. Big chop coming in by Moxley. He puts Takeshita up on the top and he's got quite a bit of blood coming down his face now, Takeshita. He is just driving his elbow into the head of Takeshita, looking for a superplex. Big superplex there by Jon Moxley. 1, 2, and shoulder up, shoulder up. Brenton said, can't forget Jericho's early career in Japan, Canada, Smoky Mountain. Cornette's watch-along of Thrill Seekers and Heavenly Bodies was great. Last said that was one of the bloodiest matches that he saw. James said, I wonder how far into Rampage do we get after Dynamite unless they cut off the feeds. Carl said, I'm better than HBK. I believe that, Carl. I do believe that. Justin, hello, shout out to you. Adam said Man United versus Melbourne, victory at the MCG tomorrow. It's going to be 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well, if you're watching it, enjoy it. Have fun. United getting a decent result against a weakened Liverpool team the other day. But can only beat what's in front of you. Nice suplex there by Moxley. I'm hoping this match is going to get going. It is quite slow, methodical. Takeshita busted open. Definitely feels like we've been at a commercial break. And I think they just said that we're coming back from picture-in-picture now. Moxley standing on Takeshita. Takeshita down in the middle of the ring. There's a woman. She was like, she couldn't believe what she's seeing. Here we go. Moxley grabbing Takeshita. Strike coming in by Takeshita. And again. Forearm strike. Moxley against the ropes. Takeshita. Duck underneath. And again. That was a massive shoulder tackle. Launched himself in the way he came down. It looked a little bit steep, but it looked cool as well. He put everything into that. William Regal said, this young man is spectacular. Everyone should be watching this young man. He's a big fan of what Takeshita's bringing here. Big boot by Takeshita. Takeshita going in the corner as Moxley charges after him. Moxley has got Takeshita up. Takeshita lands on his feet. Back elbows by Moxley. The pace of it has picked up now. Brainbuster by Takeshita. Shoulder up by Moxley after 2. Yeah, I mean, he really planted him there. Takeshita going up. Big splash. Knees up. Knees up by Moxley. 2. This is worth the price of admission. It's a good match, said Master Chief. Brenton said, who's your least favourite Man United player? I respect the talents, but I don't care for Ronaldo. I think Messi is better. Least favourite Man United player? Don't know. I probably would have said Pogba, but he's gone now. So I would say, I don't know. Actually, that's really difficult. I don't know if there's many players that I dislike. I wasn't the biggest fan of Pogba, and I felt a bit sorry for Lingard. I might go Dalot, you know. I might go with Dalot because he's a promising young player, but I just think we can do better in that position. And we'll have to see. He might have a good season, but I haven't been impressed with what I've seen of him so far. And I do think right back we could improve, so I think I'll go with him. Ronaldo, I mean, Ronaldo's Ronaldo, isn't he? He still scored us 18 goals last year, so. Big splash by Takeshita. AEW Wednesday needs razor blades. Hogan had the most ineffective leg drop, says Larry. I really do wish AEW would keep the blood for pay-per-views. It's just not needed for Dynamite matches. Your answer should have been Mason Greenwood. Well, if he gets found guilty, then it will be Mason Greenwood. But at the moment, hopefully he's innocent, but don't look great. Duck underneath by Moxley. Sleeper hold applied. Takeshita with Moxley. Blue Thunder Bomb applied. Blue Thunder Bomb by Takeshita. 2. Both guys are down, and Moxley gets his shoulder up. I think Takeshita does as well at the same time. Match continuing. But I had a past life reading. I was an extraterrestrial, says Sonny. I can believe that. Part of me thinks you still are. Kaysen, shout out to you. Hope you are well. William said, I read that as extra testicles. Forearm strike by Takeshita. Nice German suplex. Oh, 2.9. Takeshita with a German suplex. Good match, this. Crowd are really into it now. It's been given time. It's built nicely. Takeshita. He's got a straight jacket applied to Moxley. Moxley reverses. Headbutt by Moxley. And again. And one more. Plants Takeshita. Elbows coming into the side of the head. Yeah, he seems to have Takeshita out here, and he puts It's like a snare trap. Takeshita taps. So, there we go. Moxley wins. Moxley wins. So, Moxley beats Takeshita. So, up next, we're going to hear from Christian Cage and Luchasaurus are going to be in action. Not a fan of the Bulldog choke, says Zoom Station. Corvid said, I wonder if we get a Moxley match without fake bloods. 50-50 booking, says Junior. The world champion needed to destroy this guy under 3 minutes. If Takeshita even signed by AEW, I remember him being brought in for a few matches. I think he is now. I think so. Not aware that he isn't. Just got a House of Black promo here. We're just seeing Malachi and Julia Hart. I've never seen that footage before. Brody King absolutely destroying Darby Allin in a shop. Brody King, Malachi Black, Julia Hart. They've got Darby Allin. Oh, that happened this past weekend, apparently. He attacked him in a shop. Perhaps they both went for the same item, the same size. In fact, definitely not the same size. They're not the same size. Perhaps it was a mug. Or a beanie with one size fits all, and it was the last one. You know what it's like. Here's Christian Cage. Christian Cage has made his way out. And here's Luchasaurus. What will Christian say this week, says Blaze Radio. Luchasaurus's entrance is quite Kane-esque. With fire shooting up. Okay, here's Christian. We got the Varsity Blondes in the ring. Christian says, it's not even that stupid mullet that you've got, Pillman, but you would fit in with these imbeciles here in Georgia. Oh, he's going after a father again. Brian Pillman, your dad was average at best. I respect the fact he spilled his blood, sweat and tears in that ring. He would be appalled knowing his final contribution to this business was you. The hair, the look. Does Griff Garrison look like Jungle Boy? Okay. Well, Luchasaurus is making his way down to the ring. And I'm guessing it is going to be Luchasaurus against Griff Garrison. I'm guessing this is going to be a squash. Luchasaurus has got Griff Garrison up. Big German suplex. Jungle Boy Garrison, said Erase Your Mind. James Jones said, MJF, don't expect to see him for a while. That's how you can tell real issues are involved. Doppelganger said Christian was kind of tame tonight. To be honest, I mean, it's we said this earlier, it's going to be really hard for him to keep going after, like, you know, that same level of shock value. There's only so many times you can lay into someone's dead dad. Whatever, you know, he did a few bits here with saying that Brian Pillman would be ashamed of, you know, his son and all that. Big choke slam there by Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus dominating this. And again, Christian is the best right now, says Cliff Beavers. They would look similar if Jungle Boy was an adult, said James. Brenton said, Darby Allin seems to have fallen off, hasn't he? I'd feature him more unless the crowd has gotten bored. Is that the case? Well, I think they are building towards House of Black and Darby and Sting. So, seemingly, you know, he's not really been involved in a great deal recently, but I think he has got a storyline coming up. We are seeing Pillman headbutt there by Luchasaurus. Pillman goes down. We've got both the Varsity Blondes down. Both are now getting put onto that Timekeeper's table. Oh, wow, that was heavy, man. That was heavy. Griff Garrison got chokeslammed onto Pillman, but hard. And the table never broke. He's doing it again. Oh, and that time it did. First time it didn't. First time it didn't break. Second time it did. Christian standing over the two bodies. That first impact sounded quite moody, man. Barbed wire everywhere match next week, as we know. The music does seem very Kane-like, says Matt. I am the table, says Esteban. It is Daddy Magic. How high is the cage? Claudio and Ortiz, are they just going to be walking around? I want them in a cage, says Daddy Magic. Just it. All out. So just heard from Garcia there saying that he wants to take the title away from Wheeler Yuta at Death and Dishonor. All Out Chicago. Be there. All Out. Sunday, September 4th. So Wednesday, August 31st. That was sort of interesting. I want to rewatch that. The end of that promo was quite interesting. The way that just interesting, the way the promo happens, it says All Out, blah blah blah, and then out of nowhere it all goes black and there's like a noise in the background, but to do with like Bray. But it did just make me wonder for a second. The fact that, you know, promo, then all of a sudden the lights go out and everything goes, listen, lights out in AEW. Jeez, they do that every week. Guess what? I won't see Dynamite until 9 because school starts back at 9, says Kamari. Kamari, shout out to you. Another AEW pay-per-view in Chicago. Why, Tony? Why, says David. Adam said Leeds versus Brisbane Raw tonight at Gold Coast. It sounds like there's a lot of Premier League teams in Australia at the moment, which is good if there's a big market over there for Premier League football. I expect a long all-out Labor Day weekend in the US, says David. Junior said the first Dynamite after All Out, Sasha Banks is free to join AEW those 90 days. Well, I don't know, because we don't know what the situation. I don't even know if she's been, like, I think she's been let go. There's rumours that she's, like, been let go, but there's been rumours that they've been trying to get her back, and we don't know when that happened, and I don't know. I really don't know if you can, I don't know if you can point to anything. Until we know that she's definitely gone and what that date is, I don't know. I don't know if we can point to anything as a good date for her arrival. Coach Co, hello. Peanuts are used to make dynamite. Once peanut oil is processed, it can create glycerol, which in turn can be used to make nitroglycerin, one of the main components of Dynamite. So AEW Dynamite is being run by peanuts. Interesting. Brendan said, thoughts on Griff? Obviously Perlman is better, but I think Griff has got something. He looks okay. He doesn't look bad. He holds his own, but don't know. I can't say that he has like really stood out to me. But every time I've watched him, I've never thought that he's done bad. He's always held up his end. It's just he's never really had much to get his teeth into, so could be right. Could be a star in the making. Give him a bit more to do. Allow him to show a bit more. We're backstage with Hangman here. We're almost at a halfway point. Hangman has got a tie-dye shirt on and like an Alice band thing? Headband? Okay, Dark Order. Right, here, Jim Ross is coming out. So, Jim Ross tends to come out for the second hour. I like this. I think this is a really good thing for them to do. Kind of makes the second hour feel quite big, like, you know, bringing out the voice of wrestling. Okay, here is Hager, so it's going to be Claudio and Hager. Bum, bum, bum. Right, we you might as well put in your halftime scores. What do you think of Fyter Fest so far? Might as well put them in. I don't know when we go to a commercial break, but we've got about an hour to go. So we've got about an hour to go. So put in your scores. What do you think of Fyter Fest so far? Are you enjoying it? Are you loving it, hating it? I think we're in for a decent match here. And that main event, which I think looks quite tasty as well. So here's Claudio, and William Regal is with him. So Claudio and William Regal. See Claudio, part of Blackpool Combat Club. Lots of cheers for Claudio as he's making his way down to the ring. William Regal back on commentary. Have a look at the scores. We got David with an 8, Denis with an 8. Plushtopia 7.5, Beastie Boy 9.99. Long Beach Hippie said this match should be fire. We've got Larry with a 6, Luke 7.75, Brent 7.5, Melissa A.M. Kern 7.5, James Chadwick said we the people. Daniel, good evening to you, mate. Hope you're well. Nice cater by... oh, he's looking for the swing already. Claudio looking for the swing, but Hager gets over to the ropes. Big boots. Is it We Love Regal? Is that the chant? Oh, We the People. I thought they were saying We Love Regal, but I think they're chanting We the People. Clothesline on the outside. This thing is starting off quick. Claudio is down and knees up. Hager scouts it, though. That's good work by Hager. They are just constantly countering. Hager is seemingly 619 position, is it? He goes for the 619 and he does it. 619 by Claudio. Over in the corner. Hager in the corner. Yeah, Hager coming out after him. So quite a fast open to this match. Knew that it was going to be good, though. Knew that this was going to be entertaining. Big strike to the midsection. Uppercut, but can't get it through. They are laying it in, and JR sounds quite excited on commentary. Seems to be enjoying it. William Regal out of nowhere goes, I just love watching big men knock the stuffing out of each other. Thought Vince McMahon had jumped onto commentary for a second. He got very animated. That's some of the most animated I've heard. William Regal. I just love watching big men knock the stuffing out of each other. Okay. Do you enjoy wrestling as well, or? Face first, Hager being smashed into the corner. Crowd into this, shouting along as Hager's being smashed repeatedly, but Claudio tries to go up. Hager hits the rope. Claudio gets caught. Lobsters communicate with pee. Lobsters communicate by urinating at each other. That's just like me on a date. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Long Beach Hippie. Future All-Atlantic champions in the ring. It's about as good a commentary as you will ever hear on this match, says Brent. Daniel said the AEW crowd's energy is normally ridiculous, so not expecting it to be like that every week, even though, to be fair, it normally is, but not the loudest tonight. No, it is a quieter crowd. it is a quieter crowd, but you are, as you said, you are going to get that. You're not going to get a ravenous crowd every single week, are you? I don't know where we are, actually, but, normally you've got some good markets that tend to deliver good crowds. Seem to remember Miami was quite good. Chicago's obviously always insane. Philadelphia tends to be a good crowd. I think Jacksonville tends to be all right. It's home, isn't it, for AEW? Wrestling Regal, shout out to you. Blaze Radio said, give Regal a toothbrush. You'll see him animated then. Yes. Yes. I've got an electric toothbrush, so he'll have an extra big smile on his face. Nice strike to the midsection there by Hager. I'm not a fan of Hager's shorts. They look like boxer shorts in a way. They're kind of like purple-pink leopard print with sponsors on them. Cut there by Claudio. I think they're meant to be like MMA, but they really do. Like, if you told me that was his underwear that he'd just stuck some sponsors on, I'd be like, yep. Hager up to his feet. Electric toothbrush. Oh my. Oh no, I've gone up in the world. That pound is for a pot noodle or a bottle of iron brew. I've got standards, Edward. I'll be buying celery with it. Celery. Nice suplex there by Claudio. Moldy said, a real man's man. Pretty sure they are Hager's shorts when he fights in Bellator. They could be. I don't watch. I don't watch me. I don't even know when he last fought in Bellator. Actually, let's have a look. That'll be interesting. When did he last fight in Bellator? Has he given up the Bellator stuff? I suppose if you don't have to get legitimately punched in the head, why would you? I seem to remember he did have one fight. I remember they were building it up on Dynamite. Like, talking about it. That was 2020. So his last fight was October 29th, 2020. So in around about, 3 months? It'll be 2 years since he last had a fight. He got a win, though. So far, his record is 3 wins and 1 no contest due to an accidental groin strike. But, he managed to get a win in 2 wins in 2019. Then he got his no contest. And then in October of 2020, he got a win via split decision. Clothesline by Hager, and Claudio is down. Are we going to hear what happened to the Ass Boys, or are we going to have to wait till Friday? Oh, you might get a little backstage promo or something. Hager down. Claudio down. So both guys are down at the moment. Claudio trying to get up to his feet. Hager getting up to his feet. These two exchanging blows back and forth. Another right hand coming in. Uppercut there by Claudio. European uppercuts. Over into the corner goes Hager. Another big uppercut by Claudio. Over to the other side. Another big uppercut. Against the ropes. Drop kick by Claudio. As Hager rolls out the ring. Claudio jumping out the ring on the outside. Running round the outside. Hurls himself into Hager as Hager goes down. Can we get an Adam Page heel turn, says Brenton. You could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Have him beat the Dark Order as they slowly fade away. Plushtopia said, what's the main event tonight? It can't be Moxley Takeshita. It's the tag match. 2 after a crossbody. Claudio with a 2 count. He's looking around. So, yeah, it is going to be Young Bucks against Swerve. Keith Lee versus Hobbs and Starks. The crowd want the Cesaro swing. The Claudio swing. The giant swing is what it's called. Regal said it is miserable to be on the end of that. And he's got sharpshooter applied. And there we go again. Seems to be right in the middle of the ring. Hager is calling for people to come down. Here comes Jericho Appreciation Society. They're making their way down. Claudio is warning them. But Hager, 1, 2, shoulder up. That was like a rock bottom. Just a 2 count, though. I've changed my score. This is 10 out of 10 because of this match. Claudio versus Hager every week. I'd be happy, said Beastie Boy. Hager grabbing the ankle of Claudio. Claudio kicking out at Hager. Hager dragging him back to the corner. Again, kicks coming in. Claudio grabbing Hager, planting him. Hager goes down. He is wrapping the legs up. JR said, these tough guys, they like to win by submission when they can, but we are seeing Jericho Appreciation Society really causing some distractions on the outside. He launches Hager in the air, big European uppercut. Straight jacket into a powerbomb, sit-down powerbomb. 2, 3, and there we go. It's a win for Claudio. Claudio gets the win. There we go. That's a victory for Claudio. As much as I don't think the Bucks are any good, they should retain tonight so that FTR can come out after the match and demand the final match. All or nothing at All Out, says Brenton. Did you know Regal's last match was against Claudio, says Daniel. It was mentioned, yes. I think there was a conversation we had. I said I remembered a match against Cassius Ohno, but someone mentioned that he had a match after, which I don't know if it was on TV or not, against Claudio. Never seen it. I know that much. Backstage with Hook. Is it safe to say a title shot is in your future? He just shakes his head and walks away. There we go. No words from Hook, and we are at commercial break, so an opportunity to catch the breath after that match, which was decent. I think the Moxley Takeshita match was probably more to my liking. That last one was still really good, but I'm just thinking which one I probably preferred. I'd probably go with the Moxley Takeshita. I thought Takeshita did a great job. Both of those two did a good job as well, though. I think this has been pretty solid. I think it's been pretty solid. Where is Danhausen? He was under the ring at the start of the evening. Malone's Family Circle said, coming from an AEW fan, I don't think this match ever got out of first gear. They had better matches in WWE. Sonny said, the Great Canadian Maple Syrup Heist was the theft over 7 months between 2011 and 2012 of nearly 3,000 tons of maple syrup that were valued at 18.7 million. What? There was someone stole 3,000 tons of what the hell were they going to do with that? How are you going to sell that on the black market without getting noticed? Do you know what I mean? What, you got little packets in your jacket or something? Wild. Never even heard of that. You Canadians, what are you like? Philly said, do you think AEW WWE would happen? Not like WCW, but like Survivor Series? No. There's no benefit to WWE to do that. WWE's ratings won't really go up if they do that. You might get a few extra like AEW fans that won't watch, but to be honest, they ain't going to stick around, are they? Because this whole thing is like, you know, AEW have positioned themselves as the anti-WWE. It's kind of, you know, it's a bit weird, isn't it, how, like, critical AEW have been of WWE and how vocal they are about, like, you know, things that happen over there. And, you know, I remember not long ago Tony saying that he took great joy in telling Dana White that WWE were going to be in the same town as UFC at the same time, and he didn't know, and, you know, just put that little tweet out there. And then he turned around and said that he would be willing to work with WWE. Because, of course, he would, because it'd be great exposure for AEW. I don't know how AEW's fan base would feel about it. There's definitely people that would be into the idea of seeing that kind of crossover, but I have to admit it's not something that really bothers me that much. It's not something that, like, I could think of a few matches I'd be down for seeing, but it's not one that's that I'm desperate for. And it's mainly because I know we won't get it. Vince, whilst he's still alive, would not be interested in promoting them, basically. Vape Ross Vape says, it'll be funny if Hook can do promos like Piper and MJF. What, just out the blue, just starts cutting incredible, like, promos? That would be wild. We're backstage with Thunderstorm, and Thunderstorm have got t-shirts. I got to tag with my girl Tony. We're ready to take on anyone. Here's Britt Baker. We tried to stay away. Britt Baker said, this place is a disaster without me. You look so good. We're well versed in how to handle a thunderstorm. Oh, hello. Sandbag. 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 So a little reference to Thunder Rosa sandbagging. Get it, sandbag, because Thunder Rosa loves to sandbag people, says Junior. Right, here's Deeb. Here is Deeb. Deeb against Anna Jay. Britt is awesome. Where the banter is the best, says Kyle. Yes. Where the banter. Where the banter. Absolutely. All hail the Deebs. Serena Deeb in the ring. Big fan. Right, Anna J making her way down. We've got 40 minutes to go. Just 40 minutes left to go. Coach Co said, Forrest Gump has got more CGI than Jurassic Park. Where do you get these from? I believe you. But that's crazy. Because the one's got dinosaurs in it and they're not real. Well, they were real. Coach Co, shout out to you. Blowing the community's mind since 2020. Around that. Anna J is where tonight's show is from, but she ain't beating the GOAT Deeb, says Daniel. Malone's Family Circle said, I think in future we need Guevara versus Darby Allin for the TNT title. If you are watching and you've not dropped a like as well, hit the like. We're at 259. I feel like we could give that a tickle and get over 300. I don't even know if that's an achievement or not, but it would be good to at least do that. So if you are watching and you've not dropped a like, drop a like on the stream. We've got just under 40 minutes left to go. Just under 40 minutes left to go. There's been quite a bit of stuff that's gone down on the show. You can see the results scrolling along the bottom. So we've got a couple more matches to go, including this one. What happened with the Brit promo? I missed it. So she basically came out and said, oh, it's really cute that you're called Thunderstorm, but we know how to deal with thunderstorms. And she gave Tony a sandbag, because you tend to put sandbags out when there's a thunderstorm. And obviously, Thunder Rosa has been accused of sandbagging during her matches. We've got Deeb on the outside going through the legs of Anna J, rolling her up. Lovely submission hold here by Serena Deeb. This was a match that I said I was looking forward to because I'm not crazy about Anna J, but if someone can get something out of her, it'll be Serena Deeb. Anna trying to pin Deeb. Anna up, charge him round the back. Sleeper hold applied. Deeb trying to get over to the ropes, middle of the ring. Deeb gets to the ropes. She steps through. She uses that top rope. Nice. That was nice. That was a great way of breaking it. Really using all of her surroundings. Twisting net breaker there by Deeb. Shoulder up. As Anna J rolls to the outside. Sandbags are for floods. But I suppose it depends how bad the thunderstorm is, isn't it? As far as good wrestling crowds, I disagree with one of the cities. Miami has never been a good wrestling town back in the territory days. They had a good crowd, though. When I remember when AEW went there. It stood out because, as we said, Miami is not really a place that you would really think of. But they went there and the crowd was really good. So, I can't guarantee that it's always going to be good. But it was good when AEW went there. Chop coming in by Deeb. Sandbag is making your opponent look bad on purpose, says Cliff. Sandbag and his teabagging in sand. That's exactly what it is. That's what Thunder Rosa has been accused of. Teabagging on the beach. Anna J down. Deeb standing on the head of Anna J. Going down. She's got side headlock. I don't know if we're at a commercial break. Pace of this seems to have fallen a little. Thunder Rosa sandbagging only former UFC and WWE talent, says Junior. The match stinks, but it's Anna though, says Zoom Station. Anna giving Deeb a good challenge, said Long Beach Hippie. Anna on the outside. Deeb looking for Netbreaker. Gets it. She blows a kiss. To the camera. Look, she's jogging around. She is relishing it at the moment, Serena Deeb. Deeb grabbing Anna Jay. Nice takeover. Grabbing the leg. Turning Anna Jay over. There you go. She's tied up the legs. And now pulling back on the face as well. Deeb breaks up that hold. Elbow coming into the side of the head here by Deeb, and she's tying up Anna Jay. Straight jacket. She's got stretch applied as Anna Jay is getting up to her feet. Anna Jay reversing it, but Serena Deeb puts it back on. Backstabber by Serena Deeb. Anna Jay over in the corner as Deeb charges over. Crowd quite quiet. Oh, here we go. We were at commercial break. Forearm strikes here by Jay. Deeb going against the ropes. Back elbow there by Jay. And again as Deeb goes down. Duck underneath by Deeb. Against the ropes. Deeb goes down. Deeb over in the corner. Anna Jay collides into her. She's picking her up. Nice suplex by Anna Jay. Anna Jay trying to get a bit of momentum here as Deeb kicks out. There was nothing more dumb this week on wrestling than Cora Jade turning on Roxy, says Jim. What is the card for Fyter Fest next week? Seems like we might be getting a less card with the Jericho match. To be honest, I haven't seen it. I don't know if they haven't done that talking million miles an hour thing yet. But we've definitely got the Jericho, Kingston, barbed wire everywhere thing. That's going to be the main selling point. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there is another match that's been announced and I can't recall it. But we'll get Excalibur talking million miles an hour in a sec. She's it's a weird situation's got her here. She's actually sat on her head. She's driving the head down, but she's bringing the arms up. It's a lovely looking move. Well, it's a brutal looking move. Putting a lot of pressure on the neck. Serena Deeb doing what Serena Deeb does best. Back up on the feet. Anna Jay in the middle. Kick to the midsection. Deeb goes down. Kick to the side of the head by Jay. Jay with Deeb. Deeb going into the corner. They've given this match some time. I thought this match would have less time than it's had. Deeb going over to Anna Jay. Jay down. Anna has managed to grab Deeb, though. Put on a submission hold. She's got a sleeper applied. She's got her grounded. Deeb trying to get up to her feet. Does feel like Anna's getting maybe a bit too much offense in here. I mean, there's no way that Anna should be this competitive against someone like Serena Deeb. Deeb tying up. Nice. That might do it. Yep, she taps. Submission. Deeb wins. Deeb said, nah, your finish sucks. She's still not letting go that hold, you know. Here's Mercedes making her way down, running down to the ring. So Mercedes Martinez has come running down and made the save. Anna Jay is still down. Anna Jay is going to be one of the best women's champions ever. AEW Best Crowd was at Grand Slam when they started the show with Omega and Danielson. As soon as the bell rang, everyone stood up and were going insane, and they waited for ages to lock up, says Daniel. Anna's not winning this, I thought not, no. I hope next week we get Storm and Thunder segment with Scorpio Sky and we get more weather jokes, says Kyle. Here's Jade, and we've got Baddies, and we got Stokely. What are you doing here? Trust me. I like Stokely Hathaway, he's good. Stokely Hathaway's like, come on. He walks off and they just stay there. He's got no control over them whatsoever. Right. On Friday, Gresham against Moriarty. There is the Guns explained why they turned on the Acclaim. So that'll be on Rampage. Private Party against Lucha Bros. That's on Rampage as well. Fyter Fest Week 1 continues. And then next week, Barbed Wire Everywhere Deathmatch. Jericho Appreciation Society will be suspended in a shark cage. And that's all they've said for next week. Then we've got Wheeler Yuta Daniel Garcia for Death Before Dishonor. That's on Saturday, July 23rd. FTR taking on the Briscoes. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships on the line. Samoa Joe takes on Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor World TV Championship. Hello, we've got Jay Lethal come out. Wrestling Wriggle, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate the support. Jay Lethal has come out, he's grabbed a headset and he's cutting a promo right now. Next up then, main event, Swerve in Our Glory, Young Bucks, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse, Hobbs. I bet the AEW talent gets put over the Ring of Honor talent, says James. Young Bucks versus Swerve in Our Glory. Versus Hobbs and Starks. Main event. Main event of tonight's show. And it is for the tag titles. How long we got? We've still got 27 minutes. Is tag triple main event? It is. It is. What's the hottest place you've been to on holiday? You can't say USA. Might have been, though. I have no idea. I genuinely don't know. I mean, I have been to Egypt when I was with like the school. The school did like a discounted trip to Egypt for a week, and I was fortunate enough to go on that and see the pyramids. So I mean, I bet that was hot, but I ain't got a clue how hot. I never look at the temperature. I'm never bothered. It's either hot or it's cold. Breaking news. Breaking news. It's either hot or it's cold. That is breaking news, guys. Obviously, the Bucks are going to win, says James. Ring of Honor doesn't have the fans to run a Ring of Honor show. needs to have a 1 hour show with Dark on YouTube. They've been defending the titles on Dark, says Jeremy. I missed Orange. That's my favourite wrestler. Yeah, it was at the start. That was the first match of the evening, buds. I visited Graceland on Elvis's 30th anniversary, and it was 110 degrees. Jeez. I mean, to be honest, that doesn't really make much... I don't know how hot that is. Me and temperatures, I just don't care. I just don't care. I mean, I do know that when I was in Florida, it was like 77, and that was like a pretty average day. So, in my mind, I remember how hot that was. So, 110 does make me go, jeez. But I don't think I can really appreciate how hot that is. Hot. Can we get the ratings of the show before the main event? Well, I mean, we do that at halftime, to be honest. I mean, like, my personal ratings, I feel like this is like a 6.75. I feel like it's solid. I don't know if there's been much that's kind of really blown my mind. I don't know if there's been much that I would revisit. I suppose that's the way of thinking about it, is like, would I go back and re-watch any of this? Is there anything that I would, if someone was to say to me, how was Dynamite, is there anything I need to watch? I mean, I feel like Moxley and Takeshita was quite good. Hager and Claudio was quite good, but I don't know if it ever gets into, oh yeah, you need to watch this type territory. So maybe this match is what we're going to get now. Maybe that moment is coming up now. We got Anna Jay and we got Ty Conti backstage. You know what? I like you. I really do. But you need to make better choices. Think about it. There we go. So Ty Conti backstage telling Anna Jay that she needs to make better choices. Here comes Hobbs and Starks. Shaquem said it's not the best show. Conti is an awful promo. You aren't done streaming pay-per-views, are you? No. Well, I mean, I'll do them if they don't collide with the big UFC show. If they, because now they've moved to a Saturday, they go up against UFC, which is not great for me. No, we have a way of streaming both. One stream over on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel, one stream over here. AEW is setting up the women's tag belts. Now, Conti is telling Anna to pretty much join her. Fate Ross Fate said, breaking tonight is a supermoon. Supermoon. Here is Swerve. Oh, look at this. She's loving it. She's loving Swerve's in the front row. You see that woman there? Vibing away. Here's Keith Lee. Obviously, a bit of talk about him. He seems very focused. Look, not waiting around. Just making his way down to the ring. So, Keith Lee and Swerve. I think I'm always a fan of people wearing, if you're in a tag team, wearing, like, matching ring gear. I wish they were in matching ring gear. I like Keith Lee's music. I never really get a chance to hear it, but now that I've got, like, one of the headphones on, I can, like, hear it much better now. I like it. It's good. I wish he'd change his ring gear, though. I wish he had a ring gear that was really classy. Something really iconic. You know, like how Bam Bam's is, like, really iconic. And Vader's was really iconic. Simple, but it was iconic. I wish he had something like that. Here's the Bucks. This should be a good one. Picking Swerve and Lee. Wow, do you know what? Actually, that's a really good shout. We should put that in the chat, shouldn't we? Let's put a poll in the chat and see what people think. Who wins? Who wins? Who's going to win this one? Is it going to be the Young Bucks? Is it going to be Swerve and Lee? Or is it going to be Hobbs and Starks? Who's winning? Young Bucks need to drop the lackey. Yeah, I agree. I really agree. I've never liked him. Cutler. I think he's one that AEW fans like seem to, you know, like. Bucks say they are the best team in the world, but FTR and Briscoes are better, says James. You don't care if it's hot or cold, like what Scotland is every month of the year. Well, I don't go out, do I? So it doesn't really make any difference to me. Right, we're just getting intros. There's no way the Bucks walk out with the small gold belt, says Minty. Bucks win. Don't see them losing the belts this early, says David. We've had 53 votes so far. Keep your votes coming in. Vote. Swerve Strickland. Okay, so just getting intros. We're 66 votes. Young Bucks getting their intro. Bucks. Do you think Dark Order had mileage, and was it a drop ball? I think they had mileage. I think that there was changes that were needed. For me personally, I don't think Evil Uno with his promo style, like that didn't do it for me. I think someone like Silver was really fun. I think you definitely could have got some out of Dark Order, but I think you would have needed changes to that group. Depends how you were going for it. I mean, if you were going, I mean, I thought they were doing some fun stuff. If you was using them as a comedy group, then I think you could have still done some stuff with them. And I kind of like them being the comedy group that, you know, comes down and helps Hangman. I thought that was all right as well. I definitely think in their history they had some moments. So, yeah, I do. It doesn't feel like it ever paid off, the Dark Order, and I think that's a shame. I don't feel like I ever got to see, like, a big Dark Order moment. Do you know what I mean? I think I would have loved to have seen, say, Silver win the tag titles with Reynolds or something. I mean, I suppose Hangman getting the belt was, like, maybe something, but I don't know. The connection between him and the Dark Order didn't really... It didn't feel like that was a Dark Order achievement. So, yeah, I do think it had more mileage because I don't think it played out. Swerve is in the ring at the moment with Nick Jackson. What's your viewership prediction? Last week was 979, which was above your prediction of 870. Will this week do 900,000? Oh, I think it's really hard, isn't it? 'Cause, I mean, like, I did think it was going to dip down because, you know, blood and guts. And then last week, didn't feel like last week's card was really anything that special. I think, don't know, I really don't know. I think it's hard to call as to what's going to happen with the ratings because you feel like this is a big card. I feel like this is a big card and it's Fyter Fest, but they do this quite a bit. I don't know. Is this going to be something that people are going to tune in for? Last week was, 979, and that wasn't really anything special. So logic would say that it will go up. And actually improve. So, will it stay above 900,000? I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say it stays over 900,000. Does it beat last week? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it does say 950. I'll go 950 or 940 or around that ballpark. But I think it's above 900,000. There's no Punk advertised though, is there? I mean, obviously he's out, but he wasn't around last week. It's true. Those ratings last week definitely took me by surprise. Dark Order needs a dark leader and a dark heel change, just like they were supposed to be, says Eric. Dark Order needs an enema. If nothing else is reported about Sasha and she appears all out, is that a surprise? Yes. Eric needs to be Dark Order's leader or Bray eventually, says Long Beach Hippie. Coach Co said the M's in M&M's stand for Mars and Murray. That would be Forrest Mars and Bruce Murray, the two businessmen that created the candy-coated chocolates. That's amazing. If there was a comment of the night tonight, you just won it. You just won it. That is the comment of the night. The M's in M&M's stand for Mars and Murray. I never knew that, and for some reason, I never even questioned what the M and the M stood for. So you've actually answered a question that I probably at some point in my life should have wondered about, never have. But now I've got the answer to it, Mars and Murray. That's very good, that is. That's one of my favourite ones that you've actually put in, Coach Co. That's really, because I think that's one that I'm more surprised at myself for never wondering what the M and the M actually stands for. That's good. Here's Starks. Long Beach Hippie said, I need to thank YouTube. They're playing Dynamite tonight. There's YouTube are playing Dynamite tonight? Illegally, I'm guessing. Because I was going to say, I don't know that TBS are going to be thrilled about that. Starks and Hobbs in the ring. We are picture-in-picture, 12 minutes to go. 12 minutes to go. We've had 123 votes. 16 away from 300 as well. 16 away from 300. So if you are watching, you haven't dropped a like, leave a like, as it'd be nice to get to 300. And we've got 124 votes. We'll wrap the poll up in a couple of minutes. Daisy missed a super chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's have a look. God, you'd think I'd be able to get to them with the alerts and everything. Let's go up. Mohammed, shout out to you. Says, hope you are enjoying Fyter Fest. It's good, buds. Hope you're enjoying it as well. Mohammed, hope you're well, buds. Mohammed Ali. Mitchell said, I love that he said 60-minute time limit when there's 18 minutes left of the show. Pretty sure the Bucks win. Can't see them losing this early. I more want to know why the... I think the alert thing's in the wrong place. I'm going to move it. Maybe... I remember Austin earlier saying that there was music playing, and I was like, I can't see any music. I think the alert thing's been playing in the background, So I've moved it now. But Mitchell, shout out to you, dudes. Shout out to Edward and Eric and Vate Ross Fate, Mitchell, Mohammed, everyone that's supported the channel and everyone that's joined us as we are approaching the final 10 minutes. We've got Nick Jackson in there with Swerve. In comes Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson coming in. Nice net breaker. Even JR was impressed with that. Matt Jackson jogging around. I'm loving the chemistry between all of these teams. Even the tension between Swerve and Lee is great, says Jacob. Brendan said, I read online that Murray got a 20% stake in the candy, but was bought out by Mars when chocolate rationing ended in 1948 after World War II. Maybe it should just be known as M's now then. If he's not part of it anymore, how dare he still have an M in an M&M? Swerve Strickland taking out the Bucks, trying to get over to Keith Lee. In comes Keith Lee, shoulder tackle, back elbow, another shoulder tackle, and again. Fightful tweeted they've got a Sasha update coming shortly about availability and dates. Oh, interesting. I'm guessing that'll probably be behind like the paywall. I did see that she has got a thing though. She's actually doing a meet and greet soon. So there's maybe a chance that it's going to be something like to do with that. We are seeing Matt Jackson over by the ropes, over the top. Nick Jackson gets caught. Be interesting though, see what they come out with. A lot of people that want to know what's happening with Sasha Banks. Naomi. Keith Lee in the ring. He's got Nick Jackson. Keith Lee lands on his feet. Yeah. Says her booking availability and the details behind it coming to Fightful.com soon. So she has done, she has got a meet and greet coming up. Is it C2E2? Something like that? She's going to do a meet and greet at that. Against the ropes goes Powerhouse Hobbs crossbody. Heavy crossbody into Keith Lee. Goes down. Powerhouse Hobbs rolls to the edge of the ring. So we've got Hobbs on the outside. Keith Lee is heading up. He's got Hobbs. Headbutts by Hobbs. Keith Lee goes down. He's perched. He's ready. Hobbs, long way to go. Big frog splash, and he makes it. 2. Kick out by Keith Lee. That was a big frog splash. I didn't think he was going to be able to make it that far, but he does. That was amazing. More people were into maple syrup than Sasha Banks. Wow. It's true. Someone stole, what was it, 3,000 tons? This is awesome chant I can hear. Hobbs still in there with Ricky Starks. We're into the final 6 minutes. We'll get rid of the pole. We'll get rid of the pole. Nick on the shoulders of Powerhouse Hobbs. Here's Ricky Starks. He jumps up. Walking along the top rope. Wow, lovely cutter. 1, 2. Kick out by Nick Jackson. Did you know that Eminem had to change his name as he originally went under Eminem and almost got done, so he changed it to Eminem? I did hear that, yes. I did hear that. That he got in trouble with the candy company, but it's a fun fact. Swerve, backbreaker. Against the ropes goes Swerve, clothesline. Matt Jackson turned inside out. I sent you the noise over you talking earlier. I'll give it a listen. I'm guessing it's probably me. I'm guessing it's probably the alert thing. I've got it. Yeah, it is. It's me screaming Brie mode. That's funny. So the moment that happens earlier is me screaming Brie mode. I kind of like that, actually. I wonder if it's better to just hear them and not see them. I don't know. Young Bucks on the outside of the ring. What do you think about Bucks FTR at All Out? Book it. Always down for Bucks against FTR. The Bucks with the belts. Referee is down. Going to try and use the belt. Super kick by Ricky Starks, though. Ricky Starks. He's got the belt. Kicked by Swerve. Ricky goes down. Can't be a problem to use the belt, can it, in this match? Triple threat type situation. I don't know. Is there a DQ in this? Swerve was looking at Keith Lee and low blow. Smacked in the head. Young Bucks using the belt to wallop everyone. Everyone's down. 1, 2. Swerve kicks out. Swerve kicks out. That was a bit dumb, says David. It's not nice to kill the referee. The tag belt needs an overhaul. It's the worst looking belt, says Corvid. Oh, double V triggers. 1, 2. Oh, saved by Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks with the save. Canada controls 80% of the world's maple syrup. I wonder why. I wonder why you guys, like, if you just got like ingredients no one else has got. Wonder why that's crazy. Up in the air, Matt Jackson. This is great work by Keith Lee and Swerve. Oh, down. Going for the pin. This might be it. 1, 2. Oh, and again, it's broken up by Starks and Hobbs. If Starks and Hobbs hadn't got in then. Big spine buster by Powerhouse Hobbs. Oh, and Swerve's planted on top. Oh, and Nick Jackson's planted. Oh, and Matt Jackson's planted. Everyone's getting their spines busted. Powerhouse Hobbs. Busting spines and taking souls. Powerhouse Hobbs tagging in Starks. We are running out of time. Starks, nice. Roll up, 1, 2 on Swerve. Couldn't get it. He's got, Starks has got Swerve up. Swerve lands on his feet. Starks ducks underneath. Clothesline. Starks. Spear! Spear by Starks. 1, 2. Saved by Nick Jackson. Great looking spear. Maybe this is going to go the full hour. The shoe has come off. Keith Lee gets Matt Jackson's shoe. He's walloping people with that shoe. Hobbs charging over, belly to belly. Hobbs goes to the outside. Keith Lee in the ring. So Keith Lee in the ring and Starks behind him with a big strike. Keith Lee spills outside the ring. Another strike headbutt there by Keith Lee. We're seeing Swerve going up. We are running out of time here. I don't know if there's an overrun, but Swerve actually moonsaults off the chest of Keith Lee. He actually just momentarily jumps and launches himself off the chest. Against the ropes goes Starks as Keith Lee barges him out the way. Against the ropes goes Keith Lee. Oh, over the top. Keith Lee comes crashing down. Swerve up in the air, stomps down on Starks. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we've got new champions. Wow. We've got new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Swerve in our glory. The scenes. Great ending. Confetti shoots up into the sky. Big moment as the show is coming to a close. New tag champions. Swerve in our glory. And there's a few moments in that match where it looked like Swerve was going to gonna turn on Keith Lee. He didn't turn on him, and Keith Lee and Swerve are the new tag team champions that will come as a surprise to quite a few people, myself included. It seems like they've cut the feed off, so no signal coming from the venue. I don't know if it'll go back to it, but we did get a little bit extra after last time. But whoo, crazy! Not the way I wanted them to go. Ideally, I would have wanted them to have gone with Starks and Hobbs, but instead they've gone with Swerve and Keith Lee. What do you think of that? The ending was botched. You could see that Swerve didn't connect. It's bad camera work, said Zach. TNT title has passed on. It's hot potato disease for the tag team titles. Wrestling Wriggle said it was an awesome match. Blaze Radio said, I never thought I would love a three-way tag match so much. AEW has got the formula. Daniel said the match was brilliant, but it went in a completely different level in that last 5 minutes. What a great ending. Has there ever been a wrestler that's held a championship match in any company that didn't fit? What do you mean? Like the belt was too big? I feel like we have seen that, actually. I feel like we have seen the belt being quite recently, and I don't know if it was in AEW, but I feel like the belt looked a little bit like it was having to be held. Yeah. Yes would be my answer. Was it like, was Nyla Rose? Maybe Nyla Rose and the first AEW belt, maybe that one was a bit too small. And famously, they made one for Andre because they knew the one, the Winged Eagle, would be too small for Andre. So they made the Andre 87 belt, which was actually used, I want to say, in the No Holds Barred film for a certain scene, but a few scenes, and then I believe it was sold to Planet Hollywood. So yeah, there's a belt that was never really officially recognized, but it was ready for if Andre actually won at WrestleMania 3, that would have been the new belt. And it's very similar to the Winged Eagle, but when you actually look at it and you look at a Winged Eagle, you can see the shape of the belt is different but it does look a lot like the Winged Eagle. In fact, I feel like I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't show it you now. Let me see if I can find the Andre AE7 belt. Andre 87. Here it is. Yeah, get in your... Oh, you can't, because I haven't put the poll up. I'm distracted with the Andre belt. Let me see if I can find it. Let's go. Where did it save? Oh, it's gone into a folder, and I don't know what folder. Found it. There it is. That's the Andre 87. That's the belt that they had made if Andre won at WrestleMania 3. It looks a little bit like the Hogan 86. It's got that sort of vibe to it, but if you actually compare it, it is a little different. It's a lot. It seems to be more square at the bottom. What did you score AEW Dynamite? What did you score it? What did you think about it? We'll do it this way. Obviously, with our new post-show thing, we've got a much, I think, a better way of getting scores. But we'll go old school. Old school. 5.75 or below. There we go. Daniel said, "What do you think of the main event?" I liked it. I really enjoyed the ending of it. I think there's probably a few bits in there that I think to work that kind of a match where there's lots of spots that are in it, I think you've got to be very slick, and I think that the Young Bucks are very good at working that kind of a match. We saw with Anna Jay earlier, there's a few moments in there where she's kind of waiting. I hate that. The people standing around on the outside waiting to be jumped on. I hate that. Those kind of moments where it takes a bit to set it up. Watching them get into position or, there was a bit I watched earlier in that Serena Deeb match where Anna Jay was literally lying face down on the floor. She had her head up and she was seemingly looking she wasn't out or unconscious or anything, but she was on the floor and Serena Deeb just grabbed her legs, tied them up, and there was no resistance from Anna Jay whatsoever. There was nothing. She was literally lying on her stomach. She was conscious. Her head was up. It looked like she could just have a little chat with Aubrey, who was right next to that end. And Serena Deeb was just doing whatever she wanted in the back, just setting up the spot as Anna Jay just lay there. And I was looking at that and I was like, it's when you see someone that's not very good at wrestling or is doing things that are very obviously not very good, that's when you can really appreciate the people that do it really well. And so when I was watching the main event, even though there's some spots in that main event I'm not not crazy about, there was a bit where they're both walking on the top rope and I wasn't really feeling that too much. I mean, I like fights. I like going, I want to see two people go in and just go at each other, try and get the victory. And sometimes, and certainly with the Young Bucks matches, you can get a bit of that. It can go a little bit too far into the kind of, showmanship side of things. But there wasn't much of that in that main event, There wasn't much of it. And I did think that the ending in particular was very good. I really enjoyed the way that it played out. Someone said earlier about Swerve over hitting his stomp and the camera work was quite bad. I'd have to go back and rewatch that. But in the heat of the moment, it didn't necessarily stand out as being something that ruined the match for me personally. So yeah, I thought it was a good main event. I thought it was a good main event. Here's an interesting question though. What's your favourite match of the night? Because the main event was really good and the end of the main event is really good. Was it better than Moxley and Takeshita? And maybe some people would say that Claudio and Hager would be their favourite match. I feel like it's one of those three. I don't think too many people would have gone with Orange Cassidy and Wardlow. I don't think anyone would go with Serena, Deeb, and Jay. And I don't think anyone would go with the Luchasaurus match. But what was your favourite match? I don't know. I feel like the ending of the main event maybe means it's that. But I did think that Moxley and Takeshita did a decent job. I actually thought, I'm going to stand by what I said earlier. I think this is a solid show, and it was just missing, like, you know, something that was like, oh yeah, you need to tune in for this. But it gave it you at the end. Brand new tag team champions. Brand new tag team champions. And I do remember in that first hour when we were previewing the show, I said, like, I hope we do get a title change, because I can't see Wardlow losing, and I can't see Moxley, like, losing to Takeshita. So wonder if there'll be something in that tag match. I thought if it was going to go that way and there would be a title change, I thought that it would be Hobbs and Starks. I really didn't see Swerve and Keith Lee winning, but I suppose that's what makes it beautiful, really. I suppose that's what makes it work, is you don't see it coming, because they keep teasing them splitting up. So you just think, oh, they're going to split them. Certainly didn't think, oh, they're putting the belts on them. But I like that. I like that blindside. It's good. That's clever. It's good. Any match with Anna Jay is my favourite, says Jim. Brendan said the Bucks lost tonight. They wouldn't lose to FTR on pay-per-view. Cowards. There was 3 insanely good matches tonight. It's just a testament to the quality of the show. Larry said, I can't pick a favourite match tonight. Starks' shoulder was up when the ref hit the 3, says Larry. There was about 4 great matches, said Zoom Station. Bucks lost tonight, but they wouldn't lose to FTR. Main event was great, but the Takeshita Moxley was great. I just edge it if the main event. Energy was different with those last 5 minutes. Ricky and Hobbs did deserve the win. Too soon for Hobbs and Starks. The split angle is fun, says Brent. Edward said, you never leave the house. That's lazy. You need to go out and make friends and a future Mrs. Days, says Edwards. Austin said, I wouldn't be mad if Britt Baker took the title from Rosa. I wouldn't either. The Moxley match wasn't my cup of tea, says Edward. I like that. Good use of it. Well done. Jilly said, main event was my favourite match. I enjoy all those teams immensely. Larry saying that shoulder was up. Do you think that will play into it, do you? I loved all of it. I can't choose, says Heather. Brent says, are pancakes with maple syrup your favourite breakfast? Are M&M's your favourite candy? If not, we've gone down this road for nothing. Well, you say that, Brenton, but it's not all about me, is it? It's not all about me. There's going to be many people out there that enjoy M&M's and have maybe pondered what they that stands for. There'll be many people out there that are interested in maple syrup. I just find those things interesting, but to be honest, I don't really tend to eat much candy. And I think if I was having pancakes, there's a good chance I'd have some maple syrup on it, yes. But I couldn't even tell you the last time I had pancakes, to be honest. We got over 300 likes, which is cool. Big shout out to everyone that's dropped that. Really appreciate it. We're at nearly at 150 votes as well. Keep your votes coming in. We'll wrap this baby up in a couple of minutes as we get final scores coming through. Takeshita won. The ref botched hard, said James. Austin said, Serena Deeb is not my cup of tea. J.M. Robinson said that match could have lasted much longer. Great teams. Legend Killer, shout out to you. Eric said, my son is challenging me for my Street Fighter 2 title. He doesn't know what he's getting into. Classic game. If anything, you should just be proud that your son is playing Street Fighter 2. Mushy and Minty, says Sunny. Don't know about you, but I found the show boring. I didn't find it boring. I thought it was solid. I maybe didn't get carried away or as into it as other people. I do think the crowd were a bit quiet. I think if you'd had a more, dare I say, a usual AEW crowd, I think that it would have added to the show. I thought that the Claudio match was really good. But as I said, not one that I would say you have to check out. Moxley, Takeshita, really good. Not one that I think you have to check out. But I just feel like they're really good TV they're Dynamite matches. Do you know what I mean? Like, you tend to get a couple of great matches that are worth watching if you watch the show. But maybe you don't necessarily have to go out your way to watch them. But I think that main event was solid, had some really fun moments, and then boom, there is a moment that is worth checking out, and that is the moment that we get new champions and the Young Bucks lose. So they did provide that moment for me. So for me, I think my score would be in the 7s. I'd probably be like, I said I was a 6.75. Probably finished on like a 7.25. So probably around that ballpark. But yeah, I thought that was pretty decent. I mean, to be honest, I sort of feel like this show shouldn't be too difficult to deliver a show of this caliber pretty much every week. And in all fairness, they do tend to be around this ballpark. You can't have new champions every week, but just think of some of the talent we haven't seen. I mean, there's been no CM Punk on the show for obvious reasons. No Bryan Danielson for obvious reasons. We only got Britt Baker backstage and Thunder Rosa backstage. So we didn't get anything really too much from those guys. We haven't seen like anything in ring from Jericho apart from like the promo. There's quite a few people. No Sammy Guevara, no Darby Allin, no MJF, of course. I mean, if you actually think about the amount of people that weren't used on this show and the people that they've got to bring back, I mean, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty solid stuff. I mean, yeah, good. Well done, everyone. Well done. And next week we've got obviously a massive match. I do think that next week's going to be, hopefully ratings-wise, a real success for them, because I think Eddie Kingston, I really enjoy watching. He's right up there in my top 5. Him against Jericho in a barbed wire everywhere match. I'm really interested to see what they do. This is the kind of match you would expect Moxley to be involved in, but it's not. It's Kingston and it's Jericho, and it's going to be horrific. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of blood. You can't do this match without a lot of blood, but can't quite picture how it's going to go. I'm really intrigued. So we've got that to look forward to next week. Are you concerned about nuclear weapons? Do you think wrestling could make a nuclear pop, not a monster pop one day? Well, nuclear weapons are always a concern, but I think right now it would just be good if we could get more monster pops in wrestling without worrying about trying to evolve that to nuclear pops. But I would say there's been nuclear pops in the history of wrestling, but rightfully so, they're few and far between. Barbed wire everywhere, Matt. It's everywhere. Literally, it's going to be on the crowds. It's going to be in catering. It's going to be in locker rooms. It's going to be on the ring, under the ring, around the ring. JR's going to have it on his face. It's going to be... Excalibur's not going to wear a mask. He's going to wear barbed wire. The microphones are going to be barbed wire. The ring mat's going to be barbed wire. The barricades are going to be barbed wire. The entrance ramps are barbed wire. Everything's barbed wire. It's everywhere. When you order hot dogs, it's barbed wire. It's all barbed wire. Everyone's going to sit on barbed wire chairs. It's all barbed wire. Everywhere. And if it's any less than that, then false advertising. That's what I'm saying, and I will be very angry. Very angry. Let's go into the chat then. End the poll. We've had 169 votes. I ruined it. 170. I hope Tony signs Takeshita and make it official. I didn't realise it wasn't official. I didn't realise. JR will have barbed wire on his cowboy hat. What's bad? I bought nosebleed seats and got ringside, said James. Very nice. Very nice. 53% of people went 8 to 10. 775 was 28%. That's high, man. That's a high score. I do not begrudge this show that score. So 8 to 10, 53%. 7 to 7, 75, 28%. 6 to 6, 75, 13%. 5, 7, 5 or below, 4%. So 170 votes. Would have liked a bit bigger sample size. It's always good once you get into like a couple of hundred, but weren't too far from that. But yeah, even so, I think it gives you a good idea of how this show went down, that 53% of people went with the 8 to 10 option. So seems like it was very, very well received. Right, we're done. Appreciate the support, my friends. Go and enjoy your lives. And I will see you hopefully on Friday for SmackDown. And don't forget, straight after SmackDown, we will be doing our SmackDown post-show. There's a new intro. There's a new little layout thing. I'm going to look to try and display comments on screen, because obviously for that post-show, we don't have the chat on screen, because there's not a great deal of room, and if I put it on, it might look a bit cluttered. But I am looking at highlighting certain comments. There's lots of things that I want to try and do for that post-show, and I am open to feedback as well. So hit me up on Twitter or in the comments. I'm always open to feedback, as we're trying to make some maybe long overdue improvements to the watch-alongs and the channel overall. So big shout out to everyone that joined us. Hope you had a great time, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.